love the scent of wine, and after reading up on the art of winemaking, I've grasped some of the key principles. In short, whatever ingredients you use, it's essential to include something sweet. In an attempt to select the most suitable ingredient, I gathered samples of all the sweet plants and fruits I could find in the Mondstadt area. Then, I tried them all in turn and took detailed notes. I also factored in the differences between the same ingredient grown in different locations. For instance, sweet flowers from Springvale are a little sweeter than those at Cape Oath.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, I'm sure she was more than happy to do it. All the work, all of the wine tasting. I'm sure she was more than happy.
It was no problem at all.
No problem
Just
at all.
my duty as a maid of Favonius.
It was her duty. It was her duty to get drunk for 4 days in a row. It was her freaking duty, Paimon.
The chance to source the Defender's will on behalf of the Knight.
Alrighty, I think we about ready to start here.
Thinking and without any degree of rationality or common sense. So what ended up happening is that they were defending a product and defending something that nobody actually wanted, and they damaged their own credibility. Like, I don't know how it was possible for journalists to cut their credibility in half, because I thought you couldn't divide by 0, but somehow they've managed to do it, and they are even less credible than they were. And it keeps happening over and over and over. It's a return to form. Yeah, it is. The form is being a corpse. Go woke, go broke. He went private a few months ago. His last posts on X are from November 2024. He's moved over, so now he's posting only on Blue Sky.
On what? What even is Blue Sky? Who's even on Blue Sky? Must be some liberal sinkhole.
Well, there it is.
Can't jump
I don't know what to say.
Cleanly onto it. There we go.
It's so fucking funny.
Yeah,
so funny
yeah, it
to me.
is. It is.
He roached out at Twitter, man. He did.
Yep.
I gotta get out of here quick. Yeah, EA, and to be fair, I think he did report on this himself and talk about it. I'd have to go back and look and see. Yep, no longer on Twitter. Man. What's he saying on Blue Sky?
Oh, probably some stupid shit.
Nothing. Guys, it didn't happen. This is free real estate for me. I love it. I do too. I think this is amazing. Because, and I also want to say, and this is absolutely me talking about the fact that I was right about everything. This was my original numbers for sales. And the number that I used for my estimation for how many copies this game sold was exactly accurate. And do you know why? By the way, do you know why I was able to do that?
I think I got all of it.
I'm not a wizard.
Yeah.
I don't have a crystal ball.
Ground,
I don't have a Palantir. I can't see the future. But I know how data works.
Yeah.
And I know how to extrapolate data and expand it based off of a representative sample. And if you've taken, I don't know, 2 classes in college, fuck, I'm pretty sure high school has
just
a class in
common
this.
sense.
It's so easy to do. It's so simple. And people were giving each other the runaround because nobody can do math. It's embarrassing. Then apply common sense. Yes, of course. You base too much on SteamDB? Well, if I base too much on SteamDB, and I've been accurate with every prediction that I've made based off of SteamDB, I don't think that I do. I got lucky? Well, man, I sure do get lucky a lot, don't I?
Yeah, exactly.
You were being honest, they weren't. That's true. And that's also, see, you know what? That's the bigger point. And I don't even think, there's a really, you bring up a very, very good point. I don't think Jason Schreier and a lot of these other people that were defending Dragon Age the Veilguard are stupid people.
Yeah.
I think that they are intelligent people, but they just have goals that are not the same as mine. So when they can't see the truth, it's not
They
because
don't
they
want to
can't
see the
see
truth,
it.
yeah.
It's because they won't see it.
Yep.
They don't want to see it,
Yep.
and they don't want to accept it.
Yeah.
So that's the real reason.
They all know
states,
that what they're
exactly.
saying is
like,
stupid.
And that's it. That's really
They
what's
just
going on.
say
It's
it
not that they
anyway.
can't do the math. I think that they probably had to have known this, but they just went with it and they towed the party line. And hey, it looks like they're sinking. That's it. The goal is being access media. No, I think that there are a lot of journalists and a lot of people that have infested entertainment media that view their position in entertainment media as a responsibility of being a proliferator of an ideology. So they are trying to put forward an ideology to everybody. They want everybody to think the way that they
ideology.
do. And
Yep.
so what they do is they take instances of that ideology like existing and they make it look like it's better than it is. This game got a 9 out of 10 from IGN.
They're playing politics.
Amazing. Guys, I think we really need to sit down and have an evaluation of who's writing and who's making these decisions. Because this is so distorted that, and I hope IGN hears what I'm saying here.
Maybe.
IGN is probably the
Maybe.
best gaming website right now on the internet. I think
Yeah.
IGN has a lot of problems, but it's the best one.
But at least listen.
You are
Quite a bit of
taking
the
your
time, so,
credibility
yeah.
and somehow you are dividing it by 0, and it's working. If you look at these different websites, actually, I'm not going to pull it up on Google Trends. Every single one of these gaming journalism websites is totally fucking dying. And they are like at 10% of the relevance that they had 10 years ago. I'm not even kidding you. You can look it up and check the trends for yourself. Look at Polygon, Kotaku, IGN, any of them, PC Gamer, etc. You guys need to stop pushing bullshit.
Yeah.
Because pretty soon there's not going to be anybody left to push bullshit to.
Yeah. People aren't
It's happening.
stupid.
Every single one of these times where you review a game and then the game is bad and people don't like the game, you know what happens? People take you less seriously and
Yeah.
they think that you're stupid. Do that enough times and people stop listening. Here's the big
true.
thing that I think a lot of people need to understand. Do not put divisive political issues in video games.
Nah.
Your opinion of what is divisive is not relevant.
Yeah.
What people's opinion of what is divisive is relevant. Anyway, so this is what's happened. Dragon Age Veilguard was a colossal failure. A massive... I do think that people will look back on this and say, man, maybe we shouldn't make games like that anymore.
I don't know. Will they learn from it? I don't know. They seem to keep making games that way. That's the problem. It seems like they do it and it doesn't work, and then somebody else does it and it doesn't work for them either, and then one of the people who put out one of the stupid games does another stupid game and that doesn't work. Seems like they just keep doing it and they don't learn a lot of the times. VTuber clickbait situation. I'm kind of curious.
VTuber pointing out misleading titles and clickbait titles about herself.
Hey, sorry for the serious video here, but I need to talk about some things that have been brought to my attention regarding
boy.
some of the videos that I've been seeing pop up on YouTube nowadays. The clipping community, I think, is one of the most important parts of the streaming ecosystem.
Oh my.
As many people don't have the time to watch through a whole stream and like to see general highlights and clips of their favorite streamers when they have the time. They're
Best example of this is Queso. Look at Queso. Queso popped the fuck off
man.
because of those clips. Those clips were insane. He's great, but the way that a lot of people discovered him was off platform with clips. Clips are really important. Absolutely.
different things that cause a streamer to get more attention, and in my case, getting clips from a few clippers.
Oh,
back
come
in the
on. Why
day
is it not
really
hitting
helped
them?
People find out about me.
Yeah.
I had my own stuff and my own personality that really helped boost me, but back then, I didn't push on YouTube. And
Yeah.
those clippers ended up bringing a lot of really great viewers to my streams that I know are still around in my community today. The
That's
fans,
nice.
well, they
Usually my clippers, outside of like my editors, usually
Oh
the
my.
clips that
What?
get posted of me, they have the opposite effect.
aren't the
What did
streamer
they
are
do
still
with
a really
the
huge part in the
Minecraft
things that's being shown
crosshairs?
to everybody.
Like, I'm not
They
using
say
a
that
bow
the
and
community
arrow.
reflects the streamer, and I would
I
definitely
shouldn't
say
have to have
that's
it
true.
right in my
But my mom
crosshairs in
being
order
my
to hit it.
cousin,
Like I'm in
someone I
melee
interact with,
range.
and
Is this melee
how I
range
act
or
in
am I
general
using a bow and
is a
arrow?
really big part in
I shouldn't
shaping
have
my
to have you
community.
right in my
It directly
crosshairs.
influences them and the way that they act and the way that they deal
It's
with other
acting like I'm
people.
using
It
a
also
bow
goes
and
the
arrow.
same way for
Like
the
I'm not.
viewers. Oftentimes you learn about a streamer from a friend, a tweet, a TikTok.
How
or in
many
this
hits
case,
is it gonna
a
take
clip.
to kill
They're
these?
really good clippers that help you learn about the streamer, and then they're the ones that are pretty disrespectful. I've never had a huge problem with clips because I've been fortunate enough to
Okay.
have really kind fans and respectful ones that run these accounts and listen to
Yeah.
my boundaries and would delete clips or rename things if it was ever getting to a point that would make me feel uncomfortable in any way. But recently, there have been a numerous amount of these channels popping up that have been so incredibly
Now she about to get to it.
close to see that it's been putting off not only me, but my community and communities adjacent. These people are doing this
Let
by
me
mass-
guess. Let me guess. Before we see him, it's sexual innuendo that is implied in the title with a suggestive thumbnail. And
Yeah,
the
what's
clip isn't
wrong with
actually
this?
that.
Yeah,
I bet
what's
that's
wrong
what
with
it
this?
is.
This is like
It's producing
been part of
these
the internet
extremely
forever.
misleading, clickbaity videos
Uh-oh.
that oftentimes have nothing to do with the actual content being shown.
Yeah.
Actually, I would like to say that pretty much every single video
Like
that
Welcome
we have
to the
seen
Internet?
has been extremely misleading or clickbaity and having nothing to do with the title or the thumbnail at hand.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Let me show you what
welcome
I
to
mean.
the internet.
Here's just an example of one of the accounts that I've been seeing lately. This is
How could anyone have predicted this?
Is it exactly what I think it is? I mean, oh yeah.
What a shock.
one of the channels.
Yeah, no, like exactly. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that the internet loves. Like, welcome to the internet, I suppose. Welcome to reality. Yeah.
That
Look at Look at the picture. She's on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, look at her picture up there. Like, what do you think? And what do you think you're implying? And I bet those clips have some relevancy too. So
fucking leash.
Yeah. What leg is she standing on here?
The titles were so stupid and misleading and just completely
Is
untrue.
it though?
Then we saw this
Is
one,
it though?
And then we saw this one. And then we saw this one. This account was brought to my mod's attention.
I need a boyfriend. I want to fuck. I like hards. Dude.
Good job, Clippers. Thank you.
Who's
we
running
need this
channel?
Yes, good job. We applaud
we
you.
have a ticket in our Discord server, and as you can see, the content is
good job.
Very obviously uploaded with the intent to mislead viewers. I understand that a lot of
so
people
what?
deep interest in a streamer's personal life for some reason, even though
For
me
some
myself,
reason.
I'm pretty open about a lot, and despite that, people still want to know more about the sexual stuff or my actual personal relationship.
Well, of course they do.
Well, of course, yeah.
Like the thing is that this is. Well, we gotta get down. Let's just come to Jesus here about this. All right.
Yeah.
People design VTuber avatars to be attractive to men. That's what
No
it is.
doubt,
And
yeah.
there's a reason why this character has huge tits.
Yeah.
And why she's attractive, why she's wearing a collar. And yeah, of course, obviously, this might be the girl's aesthetic decision as well. But it sure seems like those aesthetic decisions sure seem to be more popular, right? And so you have a situation where you have people that you're selling to a degree a sexual experience in the way that you present this character. And I think this is unique to VTubing in one way, is that when you're a female and you're a real, I know you guys might not believe this, but they do exist. If
Amanda
you're a real life
_293
female,
says hey.
Hello.
Amanda
What's up?
_293 says how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? Let's see. Yeah, we can put them there.
You don't really have as much control over your body appearance as you do if you create a VTuber.
Amanda underscore 293 says I'm doing good.
Demon. You could
good.
make yourself have huge tits or no tits, right? You could make your character look however you want. But the reason why people create characters that look this way is because they are the most appealing and they attract male viewers.
Amanda underscore
Obviously.
And that is
293
probably
says
the
how often do
majority
you
of people
stream?
that watch content like this. Is male
As
viewers. I
often
would
as I
assume it's
can.
probably over
Work
90%
full
male
time,
viewers.
so.
So what ends up happening is that when you create content that's made to attract men through a sexual desire, you will have those people go too far. Now, it doesn't justify that behavior, and it's still bad to do.
What
but you
makes
have
it bad
look
to
at
do
why
exactly?
This is happening. You can't go and say, I don't know why this is happening. It's obvious why this is happening.
They like it happening. It's good for their popularity.
obvious.
Let's not even lie.
And I'm not one of these.
We all know why it happens, and they like
you
it.
shouldn't wear that. I'm not this kind of a guy. I think girls should be able to wear and do whatever they want. But let's not be intellectually dishonest here.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you create the character. To
They
look
don't
this
even
way,
pretend that you don't
and
like it.
why
Like
you
you
do
like
this.
it.
Now these people are
That's
over
the
the
thing.
line. They're creepy and weird. 100%.
I don't think it is. It's perfectly normal.
Chip.
It's always been normal.
They do
Because of
this with
that,
every female streamer.
passerbys would go by, see clips like this, and look at these titles and be like, what the hell, and click on them. Because they're clickbaity titles, right? You can agree with that.
Yeah.
Just judging by this, you can already tell it's not like any normal clip you would see of a fan that actually likes me and my content. I need a boyfriend.
I don't see that as being
No.
true. I think that there's
No,
plenty
they
of
like
people
your
that
content,
like female
yeah.
streamers and they just like to goon to them. It's that simple. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that either.
Yeah.
As long as the female streamer is okay with it. There's nothing wrong with
I
that.
mean, if they don't like it, then they shouldn't be presenting themselves that way. Like,
Yeah,
obviously
I mean, like,
she is.
I'll be honest.
Is this
with you.
actually? Oh wait, is this the person that I think it is? I think it is. Can we go back a little bit to where he's showing her like actual channel name? Okay, is this?
Every
Oh
time I
my! No! 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 No, you don't even get to make that kind of video, honestly. You actually do not even have any leg to stand on as far as that's concerned. You do not have any space to talk about that whatsoever, actually. 'Cause I'm going to pull up your music right now. I'm going to pull it up right now. No, you do not have any reason to talk about that. You do not have a single leg to... This is your music right here. Yep. This is your music right here.
I get dirty thoughts about you. Think it worse when I'm without you.
And yes, I have listened to and liked these songs. It's like, what people don't get to sexualize you?
Amanda underscore 293
As if that's
says
not the
BTWYC,
very
you are
content that
not
you're
affiliated.
making. Like you're making...
Amanda underscore 293 says, do you want to be?
Yes, but not by your advertising your services, please. Thank you. Like she is making this content very much on purpose. Nobody forced her to make this content. You do not get to say crap about this. Like this is exactly what you're going for. So don't complain.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Like this is
Bully, give more head than a hoodie. Every time you make me comment, look just like vanilla.
yeah, it's no. Her songs are very explicit. Like what? She thinks she has a leg to stand on? Like what? No. Like it's her. It's literally all that she does. Oh my goodness.
Amanda
I
underscore
guess
293 says, actually I do promote channel.
after the blowback, I guess she changed her thing here. Yeah, I don't need an avatar. This is why I say on my channel clearly not to
Amanda
advertise.
underscore 293 says, and help streamers how start earning within a week.
Yeah, I already told you not to.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, like she just doesn't
want
have
to
any leg
fuck.
to stand on.
I like hard sex. Drunk Numi on reason why she will be single forever. Drunk Numi is in
Yeah.
need of a man. Drunk Numi's confession about hard sex. Numi is trying to fuck.
I bet a lot of the clips are actually true. I bet they are. I bet she says something about it to that effect. Yep.
Buff so hard.
Oh,
and then you
Buff
go ahead and
Pup.
you click
That's
on one of
another
these
streamer.
videos. You lean into this. Tar, I'm really right now. I hit 2 buzzballs. White Claw, bro. Immediately, you can tell the subtitles are inaccurate in talking about balls, like a man's genitalia, and not the fact that I'm just drinking a buzzball and alcoholic beverage during one of my streams. I feel him. My life, bro. My life, bro. I said, bro. But the subtitles say, I feel him. Numi is
You know what's probably happening is that the person who's doing this is probably not a native English speaker. And they're just like, they are the strongest gooner in India, maybe. Or the strongest gooner in Yugoslavia or China. And they really like this girl. And that's it. It's AI. Yeah, all this is done with AI. Because I think this is probably what's actually happening. I think that
No,
people are
oftentimes
creating
not.
these channels,
Oftentimes
and the entire thing is done with AI, and it's created entirely to make money. And I bet that tons of every single streamer girl that I know has obsessed weird stalker accounts. But what's happening now is that the obsessed weird stalker accounts are getting eclipsed by these AI generated accounts that create the clips. They create the videos, they create the subtitles, they do the editing, they add all of this
There's
in,
probably some of
and
it,
they don't
but
even do anything
I'm
about
sure
it.
a lot of these are actually legitimate clips.
Yugoslavia
really in
doesn't
need
exist
of a man,
anymore,
and
dude. Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably why this guy's doing this. He doesn't have a country anymore.
It's from a collab with me, Neuro,
doesn't? That's
and
crazy.
Evil.
So adorable when you're angry.
Oh my god.
Please yell some more.
Showing this whole part so you can see how dumb and misleading it can be.
I don't want to yell.
You know what?
You know what?
What?
I'm quaking and shaking right now at your anger. Maybe you do have a bit of a fight in you.
Okay.
So honestly, just by looking at this video for a couple seconds, you know that this does not at all match the title of the video, nor does it match the thumbnail.
No,
It's clickbait.
it is.
Numi is not
True.
single anymore, which obviously is not true. Numi goes viral. Her sex on Mountain Truth will shock you.
India's strongest gooner. Maybe it's like some guy that lives in Italy.
You never know.
That's what it is. It has to be, right? You mean weakest?
I don't recall ever having sex on a mountain or sex at all, but go off, I guess. You'll notice immediately on these videos that the comments are
Look at the
I don't believe that for a second, because how do you make so many like strictly explicit songs if you've never even had sex? Like, I'm pressing X to doubt a lot on that one. Very much doubt.
name of the fucking account. Little girl? Uh-oh.
very negative. They're complaining about the fact that these videos.
Hey,
do not
this is who
match
she is.
the
This is what
title
she
or
does.
the
Like, why is she
thumbnail.
complaining?
The content doesn't match because
This
it's
is
obviously
exactly-
misleading and it's pissing people off. Posting clickbait is how you
They're
get your
trying so
kneecaps
hard, yeah.
destroyed. These are the comments under the video called "Numi is trying to fuck Buff so hard," and of course. That's not at all what I'm talking about in the video. And then you look at the comments. In which part of these whole 4-minute clips does Numi try to fuck Buff Pup? This is such a clickbait. This is so clickbait. How are your subtitles so inaccurate? Maybe learn some English. Maybe she's using speech recognition
Well,
software.
hey, look at this. Let's look at the suggestions. Numi finds out about Sender's new alerts. How Numi's first kiss led to one L after another. Iron Mouse about dating struggles. Numi will never find a boyfriend. Only a female could do this. And then, oh, here we go. Saruki will milk you dry. And then, in case that's not enough, and you've still got some left over, you've got Lola Bunny for roughly 4.5 minutes.
Generate the caption. It's AI generated crap. So this brings something else to the
she's
table
right.
here.
She's smart.
Okay.
All of
She
these
gets it.
videos have the same kind of format. A very, very
Is
misleading
it though?
title.
Like,
Yeah.
A very, very misleading thumbnail with the top having the
I
same
don't know.
exact
I don't know
layout
if that's
of,
really AI
text.
generated.
Yep.
Something
Oh, it's AI
extremely
generated.
erotic.
I didn't
and
do
accessible.
this.
I do think that Lola Bunny should have never. They should have made like if that.
I'm like,
You just something that you wouldn't or
Should've
shouldn't
never
be
happened.
looking at on YouTube. I like hard sex. I want to screw. I want sex. I love
Oh,
balls.
this sounds like the next clip.
you guys are free to clip that if you want.
Yeah, there you
Whatever
go.
the fuck. Because at least this is something that I'm actually saying. Something that me and my mods and my team have found out is that yes, a common theme on videos like this from this channel, this channel, this channel, this channel, and this channel. We realized when we looked at the more button, there's the about page. And you'll find that if you go to the about page on every single
Lucy
one of these
Pyre is down
channels,
bad.
even the one with no videos, they all share a similar AI generated description about their profile and their page. It's all very similar.
Bro, this is some random guy in some random European country, maybe some African country. And he is just farming.
yeah, no, it
He's
gets a lot of views,
farming,
I'm
bro.
sure.
Like,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Control. And yes, it's a guy. In Yugoslavia, I didn't know they got rid of that one. They got patched out. Is Kazakhstan still a thing?
I don't know though. In her case, I could totally
still
see
have
it not
Kazakhstan, or
being
did that get
AI
patched out too?
at all.
We saw. Okay, all right. So yeah, it's a guy from Kazakhstan.
Full send.
Exactly. Yeah, there we go.
And then made us realize, oh, this is likely all ran by the same exact person.
Yeah, of course.
And the same exact person is
Little
using
girl.
AI generated stuff to create this content. I mean, look at the profile picture and the banner. This is AI generated. And then
Wow.
you look and then you see it's the same exact way that they're doing everything because
Yeah.
they're probably aware of the fact that these new accounts that they're making are likely going to get demonetized or taken off. So they just make a new one.
Yeah, of
They're
course.
making a bunch to capitalize off of this as much as they can.
That's right.
and
That's
I
what
know
they
that
do.
it's bad enough that they're going after me, but they're also going after my friends like Lucy, like Lily, with completely misleading
Lucy probably wants that. To be fair.
So then what's wrong with it? That's my question. What's wrong with it? It's funny. Like, are you so immature that you can't take a laugh at yourself? Because like, even I'm not that immature. I'll laugh at myself a whole lot. It's like, yeah.
There.
If somebody wants to make up AI generated clips or take things out of context, like, I'm gonna be right there laughing along with it because it's funny. Like, yeah.
titles and completely misleading videos that have nothing to do with what's actually
I
being
think-
talked about.
I think the
Content
real
aside, these kind of titles shouldn't even be
thing
on
with this
YouTube
video
in
is
the
that she
first
just
place.
needs to
How
grow
are
up.
these allowed? And then you go over, and then you look, and you sit here wondering to yourself, how is this kind of stuff allowed? Surely YouTube is going
Why
to be
wouldn't it
taking
be
down this
allowed?
kind of content,
Why
right?
would
Yeah.
they?
Then you go over and look at one of my friends' accounts, and notice that their ASMR account has been taken down. They deny her appeal.
Why
when
was it
all
taken
she's
down?
doing is ASMR. Just look at
The reason why is because it gets reported more often. Like, the truth is that the reason why these videos are up is because these channels are fucking irrelevant. Like 3,000 views. I was about to say up, dudes. 3,000 views. This is like nothing. So the reason why that girl's channel got deleted is because a lot of people reported it. So if a lot of people report something, it'll get removed, and that's why this person has a bunch of channels lined up, because they know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
ASMR is lewd 90% of the time. Oh yeah, no, but I don't
Yeah.
think 90%. I think it's more like 99%.
Yeah.
down at the comments, you're going to see how upset people are by the clickbait titles. They're going to complain and dislike it, but then you're also going to see a few people assume that I'm the one posting them, or that it's an actual fan posting them. It's not only giving off the impression that I'm misleading viewers,
Yeah,
but
and
this
it's like, what's
content in
wrong with
general
that?
is just overtly sexual and just untrue. One
Yeah.
could argue that because I make
Like, just
offline
have it age
comments on my
restricted.
stream, it
That's
would
all
make
that you
sense
need
for
to
these
do.
videos to come up, which I know is a common theme with some of my videos.
I mean, even
regarding-
with this, just have them write that. Oh, it's AI generated clips. Just have a disclaimer. It's like, what's the issue here?
the games I play or the jokes that I make about my favorite anime characters and my lackluster love life. But I digress. There's a difference between that and misleading viewers in such a harmful way with content
How
that
is it
leads viewers
harmful?
to believing something that isn't real.
I mean,
I
yes,
think
that's
that
why you just
doing
have a
this
disclaimer
is a
that it's
form
AI
of
generated.
creep-shotting, basically, and this is a big. So there's a lot of people that have a problem understanding consent. I feel like about once a month we find out that there's a new streamer that doesn't understand what consent is.
Yeah.
And so the big issue with women being sexualized and sexualizing themselves, the big problem is that a lot of people don't understand the nuance that women want to be the one that controls when they are sexualized and when they're not sexualized. I don't think that women have a problem being sexy, but they do have a problem with people trying to make them look sexy when they're just trying to relax. And so they want to have control over that and not be, sexualized without their consent, or I think in this case, against their consent, or be sexualized in a way that's, I would say not like really misleading, but it's exploitative. And I don't know why this is such a big problem that a lot of people don't understand. But man, a lot of people really don't get this, do they? I don't get it. Because to me, like, growing up, like, this, I'm not going to get up on a soapbox about this, but, like, growing up, I was taught never to touch somebody without their consent like that.
Well, yeah.
Never
obviously.
do that. Like, never be aggressive like that. Like, always at, like, of course. Like, I don't know why people do this. And that's a huge issue.
Even if people feel a certain way
don't be a
about
creep,
me,
don't be a weirdo.
and these videos become more popular, these accounts realize that they can profit off
Yeah.
of these kinds of videos and just do the same
Well,
exact
obviously.
thing, but with other streamers and other YouTubers and other VTubers.
Mm-hmm.
And this stuff is just gonna get worse and worse. And
It's all over TikTok, too.
unfortunately, we put on the algorithm and deter viewers from looking at actual content of me or other streamers and build up this perception that this is how we are,
Yeah.
when that's never really the case at all. It's also really interesting to know how these titles even slide in the first place. People can argue this and that, whatever.
The
on
reason
YouTube.
why they slide is because they use these different asterisks in order to avoid the YouTube auto mod. And that's why they have so many channels and they know what to censor and they know how they can slide under the radar. It's because of trial and error. Do you think you're the first person that this has happened to? No, this creep has probably done this to 10 other girls before her.
Dude, but on my streams on Twitch, they're set to 18 and up because I'm aware of how bad my potty mouth is or how dirty
Yeah.
my jokes can be. I'm so
Yeah.
fortunate with my community that most of
See,
them
I
can
was
look at these
gonna
videos
say
and know-
because I was thinking it was like her, like, oh, I'm not like, I'm like, I'm pretty sure you are, like, just given your songs, like it's exactly what you're going for and exactly how you are.
know that this isn't true. They actually watch my videos. But then there are going to be these people that want to get to know me or want to get to know some other streamer that's getting put on the spot.
Here's what the problem is, and this is what happens with a lot of girl streamers, and it's also kind of an unintended secondary, like a second order outcome of like, or third order, I guess, if you think about it, outcome of OnlyFans is that because a lot of girls on Twitch have OnlyFans, it creates a community of people that ask girls to make OnlyFans. And really, you might think that this is an innocent thing to say, but what you're effectively asking somebody to do is to sell porn of themselves. And if you had asked somebody to do this at like a work environment or something, this would make them very uncomfortable. And if you asked somebody to do this in real life, it would probably also make them uncomfortable. So what's happened is that you've had an increasingly more sexualized group of like content, and I think that it creates an expectation that people will create content like that. So when you have like, there's a lot of girl streamers that have this problem that they create content that maybe sometimes every once in a while it's a little cutesy, maybe a little baity, a little showy, but for the most part they just basically do their stream and that's it. But when you have clippers that are creating a community of gooners around them, when that's not really what they're looking for, what ends up happening is
when that's not really what they're looking for. Are we sure about that? I'm not so sure about that. I would definitely not pick that hill to die on, that she's not looking for that, or that a lot of them are not looking for that, because a lot of them are looking for that, and a lot of them are making that kind of content.
People come into that girl's stream expecting her to talk about hard sex, expecting her to talk about wanting to fuck.
She doesn't do it 24/7, but
and it probably makes her very uncomfortable. That's you can see how this is a domino effect. Like I want you guys to kind of see how all these things fit together, because it's not something.
Even saying, oh, because it makes her uncomfortable, is like, does it? When she's clearly making that kind of content for that purpose, does it? I don't think it does. Like quite a bit of this stuff is not really necessarily true.
Thing that happens immediately, it's like it happens and this happens and something else happens, right? Why are we giving attention to a Coomer baiting VTuber complaining about Coomer baiting VTubers? Yeah. That's not what's happening. If you think that's the conversation, then you're...
It's kind of what the conversation is. Yeah, she's more specifically complaining about the stuff that's AI generated, which I would just say they just need to have it stated more clearly that it's AI generated. YouTube needs to make some kind of policy about it.
I mean, look, that's not my fault.
And get the wrong impression of them. And
yeah.
It kind of sucks. It really sucks. I have an audience that's well aware of me and my personality, so that it won't affect me as severely as it could affect other channels that likely depend on clips to be known out there. They don't have as much reach. And it sucks. It sucks that that's a thing. And it sucks that these channels are coming up. And I really just wanted to make this video to just showcase how silly these videos
the AI generated
are,
thing I get, and I'm on board
stupid AI
with.
generated channels made by these people who can lie about being a fan to hide their true intent of wanting to profit and monetize off of these poor viewers who have no idea about their streamer that they're watching. And like I said,
well, the
I'm
average
really
audience, the average audience of
the whole, oh, this is so awful though, woe is me. That's where I'm like, people who really know more about you know that a lot of that stuff is true, especially if they've heard any of your music. They know that a lot of it's true. So yeah,
the people that are,
I would cut the woe is me. I didn't ask for any of this because you like literally are asking for it. Like that is one of the things that you are clearly asking for, like that kind of attention with the kind of content that you've put out. So cut that kind of BS, because we know that it's not true. We know that it's not true by the content that you created, not with somebody holding a gun to your head.
Watching that is probably 14. I would hope.
Know that I have my own content. I have a bunch of channels that even if they don't get as many views or this or that, I know that it's reaching my audience and they're getting to know me and know that, I'm silly. I make dirty jokes sometimes. I'm goofy. I'm a girl failure, but I'm also somebody who does other things. And I know that's the case with so many other people that are streaming. And people could say like, oh, you deserve this, you deserve that. But you would hate if people would make up all of this fake shit about you too. It's not a matter of
no, actually.
It's very simple.
No, actually, I wouldn't be upset, because I would actually think that's really funny. Honestly, like I would. If somebody made some AI generated shit about no, I would get a serious kick out of that. And that's actually the mature reaction. It's funny. It's funny.
She obviously sexualizes herself on her stream, but
she
it makes
does.
her uncomfortable when people sexualize her against her consent on different YouTube channels, especially when they're doing it on a false premise that didn't even happen. It's actually such an easy thing to understand, and if people can't understand that, I don't know what to say.
that. It's it's a matter of what's real and what isn't. If you're gonna do a clickbaity Gooner title, shouldn't it actually be a real fucking Gooner thing? Jesus Christ!
No, because it get less
If you're
views.
gonna do something like that, do it like my Azure Lane video with the big feed in the background. I don't know, man. I don't know. But I just hope that making a video like this will help bring to light how fucked up these channels can be. And if you do see these channels, to try your best to report them and get rid of them. I'm hoping that by making a video like this, we can all kind of band together, every kind of community of somebody that's been affected by this, that we can all come together and we can mass report
The
these
AI
accounts.
stuff,
You can bring
yes.
up a menu
The woe
and
is
you can
me,
report the image
nah.
or the title.
Yeah, sure.
You can report it for sexual content or spam or misleading content. And then hopefully, if enough of us band together with this, we can try our best to take down these accounts and hopefully help.
I don't know why you guys are saying no. I don't want to do this. Doubt, like stupid and everything.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it a bad?
No, it is kind of stupid because it's like she's kind of got rules for herself and then she doesn't want to apply them across the board as part of the problem. Like her intention, like her clear intention can be for sexualization. Her clear objective can be for that. But then she's like, "Oh, woe is me. You objectified me," when that's literally what you were asking for. So it's like you are. So it's like, does that make you your own victimizer?
Bad thing. That people
How does this work?
are just making.
You're the victim and you're your own victimizer. Like you doesn't make any logical sense.
slop channels that are spamming posts that are fake about people. Like, I mean, isn't this bad, like, on a fundamental level? I feel like this is such a circumstantial... There's such a circumstantial pushback for this, and I don't really see why it's happening. It's a tiny issue? I don't think so. I actually think that it's a very common issue.
It's
and I think
becoming
it'll
a
become
bigger
worse every
issue.
single year.
Yeah.
Because right now
becoming a
it's
much
easier to do
bigger
it
issue.
with VTubers, but I think it also happens with other female streamers, and I think it will happen with more types of fan bases and more types of media as well, as generative AI gets better.
Yeah.
Make the VTubing clipping sphere just a little bit more bearable. And I'm really sorry that I had to
Yeah.
make something like this, but I think complaining about it on streams isn't going to do any good because those aren't the things that are going to get clipped anyway. And I guess the best way to go about it is to just talk to you like this and say, hey, that stuff is not me. Those videos are very misleading and they're preying on you and your view to benefit them. And if you guys want actual good clippers or actual good content, there
Incel
are-
chat, why are you confused? Well, I know this I know this must be very upsetting for some people, but I'm really actually not that big of an incel. And you can talk to any girl that I've interacted with for my entire history of streaming, and you're not going to find a single one that said I've done anything other than just be a gentleman. I'm not manipulative. I'm not rude. I'm not obnoxious to people or anything like that. I don't treat people that way. I'm sure that, you know, there's been friction with like maybe an ex-girlfriend or something like that, arguments, sure, but otherwise absolutely not. I don't operate that way. And I don't, to be honest, on a personal level, like at least a lot of my close friends, man, I don't know about every single one, but like a lot of my, like, I don't know anybody that acts like that.
incredible
Yeah.
viewers of my community and my friends' communities who post just really good clips of me
Yeah.
and my friends or a bunch of other streamers that you know and love. They're out there. They're good. They're great. They are not AI. And they're doing so with the intent of helping the clipping ecosystem.
I don't think that there is inherently anything wrong with them posting the AI videos. It just needs to be more clearly stated that it is AI videos. Like, that's the only thing that I think is actually the issue here.
Helping you guys find the streamer that you like or the Oshi that you like without making
Uh-oh.
you go, what? There's no way this is real, when most of the time it isn't. Thank you guys. Thanks for listening if you made it to the end of this. And let's do our best to make a beautiful community this 2025. Love you guys. Bye.
I think that there are going to be a lot of people who have like a negative perception of this video because they might not like the fact that this girl, you know, kind of, I mean, like her character is designed to be sexually appealing to men. That's definitely true. But I think that you run into a double problem when you have people that take it too far and clip things and then turn it into being even more weird. So 2 other people that have been victims of this recently have been Senna and also Valkyrie. What's been happening with them is that people have taken comments or things that they've said on podcasts with Valkyrie's example, and they've taken it out of context and then turned it into being like a extremely crazy sexual context, and then reposted it with logos of like Stake or like Roobet or one of these other like gambling websites. And they're basically, so what they're doing is they're like sexualizing this person in a way that they didn't necessarily intend, and also profiting off of it, farming it. Like I think that's really, it's kind of cringe, right? It's kind of cringe. I've seen it with Kai. Yeah, exactly. People are doing it with everyone. And no way she said that. Like, yeah, she keeps what in her drawer after stream? Like, I can think of a million fucking titles for this. And sexualizing yourself versus someone else sexualizing you, it's pretty simple. You know what? I thought so until I went online, and apparently fucking not. So I want to say that obviously Numi has to understand that people, like, if you have a character like this, there are a lot of people that are watching your thing, and they're looking for a GFE. That's a girlfriend experience for anybody who actually has, you know, who's had a girlfriend before in real life. If you haven't, you already know what a GFE is, like I do. And so anyway, that happens, and yeah, big fucking surprise. This is how things go, right? This is exactly it. VTuber aren't incoming. Oh, I don't know about that, right? Am I crazy for thinking it's less egregious as an animated character? So here's where the problem is, and here's where it comes from. And it's the same issue that Senna and Valkyrie, and like there's a bunch of other people that obviously have had this happen too. The issue that they have is that when you have a ecosystem of people that are creating content that sexualize you against your consent and in ways that are unintentional, it's basically like taking upskirt photos. When you build a community like that, or like, you know, people that take photos of like a girl leaning over, it's like, remember back in the day, like any gaming female streamer, if you look at her top clips, none of them were gaming. Every single one was her walking away from the camera. I mean, I can't be the only one that forgot about this. Yeah, I mean, what are we doing? That's overreaching. It is. It's overreaching. It's crazy. And so that's what's really going on. Those are drawings, though, unlike the Valkyrie situation. Well, I didn't finish my point.
How do you hit me through my
the
shield?
Point that I'm making
doesn't
is
make
that
sense.
It doesn't matter whether they're drawings or not,
They need
because
to
when
do
a
something
person
with the
creates an
hitboxes,
ecosystem,
honestly.
like
Something
for example,
is off.
like here's a interesting parallel. DSP, we all know Darkside Phil. There is an entire ecosystem that is larger than him that is about shit. The whole detractor ecosystem. That ecosystem creates a feedback effect in his stream that makes the stream more negative and worse. So when these girls have a person like this that comes onto their platform that comes from these clips and is expecting this girl to be a hoe or talk about dildos all the time or talk about sex all the time, and they start asking for that because that's what the clips have been posting and that's what they think that they're going to get, then you have a problem. And I think that's
how
what's
did they
really
hit me
happening.
through my shield? That doesn't make sense.
It's a Gooner death loop, yes. And I understand again that a lot of people, you know, are
Yeah, like
not
that.
very
How does that work?
For numerous different reasons. A lot of people think that in a lot of cases, and I do have, I'll be honest, guys. I'll say it. I have a number of incel viewpoints. I do. But I don't only have incel viewpoints. I think there are some things that people are right about, some things they're not. And I think that this is one of those things where a little bit of compassion and a little bit of you know, putting yourself in the shoes of another person and thinking about, again, those second and third order effects from this type of behavior, I think it will really help you understand why this is an issue. So yeah, that's it. You're incel light? Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I would say I'm all the way, but I mean, maybe
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Who says this isn't the though? Who's to say this isn't the new version of OnlyFans link in bio? Yeah, they're exploiting incels. Let incels exploit them back. I don't think they're exploiting incels. I don't like this mindset that men are like. I really don't like the mindset that men are not able or women are not able to control their behavior or their intentions. If you are a adult and you are doing something because somebody else did something on the internet, you are accountable for your actions. Whether you're getting mad, you're really happy, you're donating, you're refunding, you are the adult, you have free will, you are making that choice. They prey on underage viewers, though. She said that she marked her stream 18 plus.
Yeah.
So if she marks her stream 18 plus, and then somebody clicks I'm 18, I'm not gonna go and have a fucking conniption fit about this when most of the porn websites do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
So are we really gonna act like this VTuber with a low-cut t-shirt is more of a problem than hardcore porn on Pornhub? What are we talking about? It's absolutely, completely distorted values. So yeah, that's the way that I feel about this. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be, you know, I think kind of negative towards her, but I completely support her, and I can totally see her point of view. And I think that it's a huge issue, and I think that honestly, this is the tip of the iceberg. So yeah, that's it. Now, I know a lot of you guys, some people are going to be unhappy about it, but that's how I feel, honestly. I'll be right back. I will. We'll get to our stuff after that.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of that take is not quite right. It's like she really wants to play the victim mentality, and then he's just kind of playing right into it. Hello.
Is that a thing? There he is.
Hey,
Pack, is this true rent forgiveness? Can we talk about that? Is this true, Pack?
What forgiveness?
Rent forgiveness. When Joe Biden did the rent forgiveness.
Oh, I never got that. Why didn't he give it to me? What the heck?
He didn't give it to me either.
I know.
He gave it
This
to
is a
all his
ripoff.
leftist friends. Yeah, he gave it to all of his leftist friends.
What the
My
fuck?
goodness, yeah. This must have been a rent forgiveness for his family, his extended family.
Well, considering the fact that he literally pardoned his own son when he said he wouldn't. Yeah. You're full of shit.
I'm not gonna be pardoning it. That would look bad. Goes ahead and does it.
Yeah, no. And now everybody's freaking out over the fact that Trump pardoned the January 6th.
So what is? Wait. So the pardon, is that just like
That
you can't be
basically
charged,
absolves
or-
you. Yeah, it absolves you of all your crimes that you committed.
really?
Essentially, yeah.
What if you did something really bad? Does it matter?
You get away with it.
Well,
Left always gets away with it.
The fact that Joe Biden literally pardoned rapists, murderers, like serious convicted individuals right before he got kicked out of office. Yeah, you can pretty much pardon anybody as the president.
Yeah.
And the fact that Joe Biden decided to pardon some of the worst criminals out there kind of tells you.
Our legal system should be impartial to whether you're president or not. Shouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Legal system should come first. President comes after.
Exactly. Yep. But yeah, the only thing that I think is great about the pardoning is the fact that Trump was able to pardon January 6th. But the fact that Joe Biden pardoned all of those criminals and bad people is just crazy to me.
Dude, I thought the pardon was like, oh, we found something that might say you weren't the criminal. I didn't think it was just like a, yeah, let's just get him.
You can just completely absolve somebody of all crimes by just pardoning them.
I mean, this is what happened with a lot of the riots where BLM was burning down towns and stuff. They just let people out of jail to go do it again. Yeah.
That was called the Summer of Love, right? Or was that something else?
I think that was over in Washington with the Chaz. I think that's what they wanted to call Chaz, was like the Summer of Love. Yeah.
Ooh, why was it called the Summer
of Love? Because the Summer of Love, if I remember correctly, was all about the oh shoot, I can't remember his name anymore. That black guy who couldn't breathe.
Oh yeah. Mr. I Can't Breathe. Yeah, we'll just call him Mr. I Can't Breathe.
George George Floyd.
Yeah, George
Yeah.
Floyd.
Mr. I can't breathe. Yeah.
A robot.
Yeah.
Now, Eve, you better not go George Floyding anybody when you become a police officer.
But that's the most fun part of the job, Jen. You gotta.
I'm gonna send that video.
Hey,
Pack's gonna
Pat,
get
are you
exclusive on it.
becoming a police officer too?
Yeah. Yeah, I have thought of it. Yeah.
If,
I don't know
Eve-
about. Did you watch my stream? Were you watching my stream just now? Because I kind of watched one of Asmongold's videos. I don't know about his take on one of these things.
I didn't watch it
Alright.
when I was talking to Eve. But
Okay.
I did listen to one of your streams that had Asmongold on there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he was. There's pretty much this thought streamer with the her music. Oh my goodness! If I play for you some of her music, let me see here. I can share my screen.
dear.
I'll play for you some of her
This
music.
is playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
That's what he's streaming right now.
What's wrong with that? But yeah. This is one of her songs here.
Minecraft, I don't know. It's just not my kind of game to play.
You want to build a house?
This is one of her
Minecraft is
songs.
just a
Okay.
game.
Nihume or Hune or however you want to say it. But you see this?
Oh,
Do you
this
see
is
it?
Not what I thought
Okay.
it was gonna be.
Vanilla pudding in your face all day until you say, "Babe, you hurt me." Then I turn around and give the dude more kisses and Hershey's. You dig?
Yeah, no, it's very dirty.
I get dirty thoughts about you.
Yeah, she's also a VTuber. But people, she's upset. Get this, guys. She's really upset and wants people to feel sorry for her because people have been making AI clips about her. I'm like, I don't feel sorry for you. This is obviously the attention that you've been seeking. So how are we supposed to feel sorry for you when you want this?
Yeah. There's AI stuff.
It's like, it's
made
okay when
for
I
it.
sexualize myself, but when somebody else sexualizes me for myself, I don't like it.
Oh, that's what they're upset about.
Yeah.
Somebody else is sexualizing.
Yeah,
her.
exactly.
I'm making a profit.
If you sexualize me and it wasn't me sexualizing myself, I don't like that because then
What's her name?
That's a double.
Nihume, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Asmongold, I thought his take on it was pretty bad, honestly. I was like, no.
Got the profit off
Because you
that shit.
can't, you can't like they can't go out there and like literally present yourself as a sexual object and not expect people to then and respond
Yeah.
and treat you like a sexual object.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
Just the reality. Like the way you act and the way you present yourself to people is the way people are going to have their opinions about you on.
Yep.
And if you go out there sexualizing yourself and making yourself into a sex object, don't be surprised when people start treating you like one.
Yeah.
It's just it's a common sense.
Yep.
I don't.
Well, it
understand
should
why
be
it's so
common
difficult for
sense.
People to understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
Common sense in the modern day? Where you guys from, huh? Where you guys from?
I'm from 1994 myself, so
Well, yeah.
I'm an older. We're somewhat older models around here, I suppose. So yeah.
We're a bit older than
Yeah.
you, little chums.
Oh, you don't have to be disrespectful, Jen. Jeez. Have some mercy.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, that's right. I called you little chums.
Need some water for this.
Oh.
Why don't you tell Pack your favorite joke?
Oh no, what's your favorite joke now? What is this? It's got to be some monstrosity. I know it.
Eve, hello. Are you too scared to tell your favorite joke?
Probably.
Oh, I went to go get water. Hold on.
Oh, we don't allow water around here. We've stopped allowing that.
Yeah, water's bad for the environment.
Yeah.
Hydrate yourself.
Yeah, you're stealing water from the fish. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Exactly.
The fish need all of that fresh water. What about all the freshwater fish?
The reason Los Angeles isn't that the whole reason why Los Angeles didn't have water was because they were.
Yeah, they were
refusing to
protecting
use
some
kind of
little fish. Yeah.
What? Is that
Yeah.
true?
Yeah, that was part of it. Yeah,
What
that was
the
part of it.
fuck?
Yeah.
That's the whole reason
They
why
don't.
they didn't have water. 'cause
Brain
they
cells
wouldn't-
are in short supply over there. Yeah.
It's so funny. All right, Eve. Why don't you give us that joke?
Oh yeah. Let me see. Let me try to. Hey Pac, did you hear about the guy that lost his entire left side?
No.
Don't worry about it. He's all right now.
I'm sure he is.
It made him laugh. Yeah, that shit was funny.
It is funny.
It's so stupid.
It is stupid, but it's also funny. Yeah.
We found it from what movie was it? The alien, one of the alien movies.
Yeah, it was from Alien Romulus, the newest one.
Oh
Made me
my.
laugh when I heard it. I was like, what the hell?
Oh shoot. What's the difference between you and a bus?
I don't know. What is it?
Everybody who rides a bus gets off.
Oh,
That's dirty.
I didn't know that. What the fuck?
No, I know that. For me, that's true.
Oh shoot.
I feel like that's a good Viagra joke.
Yeah, probably. Oh shoot.
Wait, are you streaming right now?
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he is.
You gotta turn down.
I stream all manner of
volume.
content here. We don't discriminate.
Even when it comes to like really bad jokes.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, actually racist jokes, probably not.
Ah, dang it! I had some good ones for you. No. Oh shoot.
I liked what I posted on X today, though. Honestly, I thought it was really good. As I was
What'd you
like,
post on X?
I can show you here. Maybe. Let me see.
Show me.
Can I sign in? Sign me in.
Oh, did you want to finish watching one of those that one video we were watching earlier on the Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Oh, I don't know. It's really
There's new
long.
gameplay.
It seems very like I don't know.
Well,
Wait, how long was
giving-
it?
he's
It was
giving
like
a
30
review on the
minutes.
game.
Oh,
I don't need to see all 30 minutes. I can just see a recap of it. Like, yeah. But yeah, this is it here.
Well, we're at about 4 minutes and 12 seconds.
Yeah, do you see this? This person here, they posted this. Why is no one talking about Usha Vance being the first Indian American, the first Hindu to serve as second lady in the United States? And I said, because it doesn't matter. If it matters to you, you see the world through identity, politics, and race, and are yourself a racist. Myself, I don't give a damn. Her race is irrelevant to me. I could care less. I feel the same way about my black girlfriend. Her race is irrelevant to me. I love my black girlfriend very much, not because she is black, but because she's a good person. Stop seeing everything as being about race. Stop giving a damn. Stop being a damn racist. In the words of MLK, people should not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. This is like,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, well. you
Like,
know.
they are the racists. That's the problem. They are the racists, and they think that, oh, I'm not racist. No, you are. You are the racist. You see everything through the eyes of
Is
race.
through race.
Yeah. It's like,
It's
you
what
are the
you see world
racist.
through. Yeah, exactly.
I'm pretty sure my girlfriend would not want me to love her just because she's black. That would be very shallow.
Yeah, no.
I love you because you're black. Like, who wants that?
No, nobody.
That's not why you love someone. You don't love someone because of their race.
Well, racists do.
Yeah. If it was a racist left-wing person, they probably would.
Yeah, exactly.
They probably would date someone just because they're that race.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's not why I date anyone. To me, that is irrelevant.
Yeah.
And it always bothers me when someone sees that as being somehow relevant. It's like it's not. So who have you been watching most, Jen, politically?
Politically,
Yeah.
Steven Crowder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
His videos are mostly on Rumble now?
Yeah.
Okay.
He still does stream on YouTube, but not as often.
Yeah.
For one, he will. There's certain times on YouTube where he'll basically shut off the stream because they're about to say something that's gonna get them banned on.
Oh, yeah.
But what they're trying to do is they're trying to push everybody towards Rumble now.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do.
I think a lot of conservatives do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because YouTube is a very left-wing platform.
It's
It
freedom of
is.
speech, right, on Rumble?
Yeah.
What's that?
More freedom.
Yeah.
Rumble?
Yeah.
There's actual
I got it
freedom of
figured,
speech
yeah.
on Rumble, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can literally say whatever you want as long as you're not breaking the law or anything else like that. Like, as far as I know, you can be completely racist on there too, can't you?
Yeah, I mean, you can be completely racist on X as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because whether we like it or not, racism is protected under...
There are some people on X, quite a few of them actually, that are like actually being completely racist.
Yeah. Because that's the reality. Being racist and racism in general is protected by the First Amendment. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the reality. The only thing that's not protected by the First Amendment is calling for violence or telling somebody to kill somebody else or do harm. That's not protected under the First Amendment.
Oh, you can make a copper door? Okay, so that's one use for copper. That we can actually make stuff like a copper door. Yeah, I was confused, like, okay, why do we even have copper in this game? It's like weaker than iron. Can't make armor out of it. I'm just like, heh. It's interesting.
I actually thought Yasuke was gonna be the bad guy or some shit. I thought that's what was gonna happen.
So I think at the very beginning of the game, he's gonna be kind of, sort of a bad guy. Like,
I thought it was
from
gonna
what
be
I
a war
saw-
between two factions.
Well, here, let me see if I can
But-
find it.
Come on now, that's too much, right? That's too much fun.
We need war!
It's too much fun.
Story trailer. Because I think the story trailer kind of gives you that impression as well, from what I remember. Here's the story trailer.
Took around the midpoint.
I think you're right, though. We do need war, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My place is looking very sophisticated now.
Mm.
Very simple, but very sophisticated.
Yeah. So from what it seems like, from the very beginning of the game, your Nawe's village gets attacked by Nobunaga, which is the guy who has Yasuke, and I assume Yasuke's gonna help him. So I don't know.
I wonder how she's gonna forgive him. You killed my family.
Not very easily.
I forgive you.
Not very easily. She should go full Princess Bride on him. You killed my father, prepare to die.
Yeah. Have you ever seen The Princess Bride, by the way, Chirpy?
Hopefully.
Sounds familiar.
Dude, if you haven't seen that, we're gonna have to introduce it.
Yeah. It's gonna be a requirement, like literally.
Yeah, you have to see The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Princess B.
Yeah.
Even if he's screaming while we're showing it to him, we're gonna have to peel his eyelids open and make him watch it.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, he's killing her people.
That's what are her people?
This, I wonder.
Oh, see, they're fighting there. So yeah, it seems to me like at the very beginning of the game, probably the prologue, Yasuke and Nawe end up fighting on opposite sides.
But he's a Templar.
Like. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that so? I don't know. I'm guessing somehow they join forces for some reason. I don't really know why, but they do, obviously. So.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Joining forces is not allowed here.
It's not the first.
We need war.
It's not the first time that a Templar and an assassin.
No, but like, I
Because
just
remember
killed your
from
whole
Assassin's
family,
Creed
your
Unity-
friends.
Yeah.
Let's be
yeah.
friends now. Like what? I'm just
Exactly.
curious how they're gonna explain that.
I don't
With a
know.
lot of
I guess we'll find
kumbaya.
out when the game. Yeah, I guess we'll find out when the game comes out.
I hope it's good.
So, for me, if I ever do plan on buying this game, I will be playing specifically and only as Nawe because, first off, she's the actual assassin. Yasuke isn't even an assassin. He doesn't even.
That sounds
you can't
lame.
Parkour. Yeah, you can't parkour as Yasuke.
Ah.
You can't do the stealth as Yasuke.
What?
Like, from what it sounds like, even when it comes to stealthing, when you come up to a character to assassinate them. Oh, yeah, right here.
You can't game end them?
Well, you can game end them, but your assassination isn't quiet, it's extremely loud. So
That doesn't
if
sound like a
anybody
great
near
idea.
you- Exactly, but that's the way they made Yasuke. So Yasuke is more of the brute force guy, while Nawe is the more hunt in the shadows and, you know, stealth and parkour. She's basically the assassin.
Ah.
So if you want to play an Assassin's Creed game as an assassin, she's your main pick. Otherwise, Yasuke, if you play as Yasuke, you might as well not even play an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I do think there is kind of room for a different kind of assassin, the assassin that you see coming and you're powerless to stop.
I mean, I guess you could say he's sort of like that because
Yeah.
he's
That's kind of what my one build in Skyrim
if I remember, he's kind of a tank-ish.
Yeah.
Like, he does a lot of damage and he can take a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Nawe, on the other hand, she's more of a stealth-based. So if she does get into combat, it's going to be like you're playing Dark Souls. So if you want to experience a Dark Souls sort of gameplay, play as Nawe as well.
Yeah, like my one character in Skyrim that like modded Skyrim that I did like revolved around making enemies really weak, like really tanky, so then the enemies do like 0 damage to you. And then what else was there? There was like I used like a whole bunch of magic. Like there was some magic skills that sapped enemies' health, gives it to you. Just like stuff that makes you to take even less damage from enemies. I had like 50% magic resistance as a Breton, so they're just like completely powerless. I would just walk up to them and destroy them. That's one really awesome type of assassin, the type of assassin that just weakens you to the point where you're like a little child, helpless.
Exactly.
You can't do anything. You can't stop your demise.
Yeah. Alright, let's continue watching this.
Oops, it's this side. Wait.
It feels like the closest I can get to a modern Tenchu game, but I did still play a fair bit as Yasuke 2 to test out what his strengths and weaknesses were, and just how doable things like stealth and parkour would be with him. They are indeed possible, but
so
just
that is
barely.
his assassination here.
Mm.
So this is what his assassination is.
And parkour
Instead
would
of
be
just being called an
lift that man
assassination,
up.
it's called brutal assassinate. And it's extremely loud, so you can't really stealth as him.
They are indeed possible, but just
So that's his
barely. I mean, he is so slow at parkour, it's really not worth doing. I had to chase someone down in a mission while I was playing as him, and he was so slow, I just had to change to Nawe mid-chase to catch up. In stealth, he can do a brutal assassination. It's basically just using a combat finisher to instantly kill an enemy, and you'll be spotted by anybody nearby when you do it. It's not in the least bit subtle, but it does still have its uses. For example, there was this elite enemy that I couldn't one-shot assassinate as Nawe, and I couldn't kill this guy in combat with her either. He was messing me up. So I switched to Yasuke, and I was actually able to take him out immediately with the brutal assassination. So there are certain situations like that where it can be advantageous to quickly switch characters. But I'll still likely play a majority of the game with Nawe, as again, her gameplay is far more of what you would expect from an Assassin's Creed game. So that brings me to
probably
stealth.
most people
Stealth
will.
with Nawe feels like a step up from the other RPG games, which I realize isn't really saying much, but it certainly has more
Well,
depth.
except for Asmongold, he said that he's gonna play as Yasuke through the whole game.
Hmm.
You remember that?
No.
Yeah, Asmongold said that when he plays this game, he's playing specifically as Yasuke only.
Yeah.
Compared to some of the best stealth games out there, though, it's still not very deep. It's not on the level of something like Metal Gear Solid, Splinter Cell, Hitman, or Dishonored. And of course, there's no social stealth this time around either. For
Which
tools, you get
sucks.
the kunai and shuriken, which
Yeah.
are Nawe's only ranged options, along with the shinobi bells that are used for lures and throwable smoke bombs. And you can quick throw all these tools by selecting it while holding the left trigger and then pressing the right bumper. Not too different from Mirage, really, when it comes to the tools, although there isn't a tool modification system, but rather just a skill tree dedicated to upgrading and improving your shinobi tools. However, you can summon your allies to assist you in stealth, sort of similar to the old assassin recruit system from Brotherhood to AC3. I've wanted that to return for a long time. It's not exactly the same. You can't just summon a bunch of assassins at once or use something like Arrowstorm.
They jumping them.
Yeah, see, that's something I liked about the older Assassin's Creed games like Brotherhood, is that you could actually recruit other assassins to help you. Why has that never been added into any of the new ones?
Yeah.
If you aim at an enemy, you can direct your ally to kill them. I had one ally that could be used for stealth, to kill without being seen, which was very useful, and one that would fight in combat. Although it was sometimes a bit difficult to direct my ally to kill the target I was actually aiming at. I'd
I hate
aim
it
right
when
at
stuff
or
that
near someone and they would
happens.
target the wrong enemy entirely,
Yeah.
so hopefully that gets sorted and cleaned up a bit before launch. It does appear you can customize the allies and upgrade them further, so I'm looking forward to
Fat
seeing how
lady.
strong you can actually make
Fat
them by
lady.
the end game.
Yeah.
Using light and shadow to hide in the dark is new for the series. It's only viable at night, but it can be quite useful for getting by or sneaking up on guards. It's not as in-depth as the old Splinter Cell games, for example. In those games, you had a
So
light
yeah,
meter.
you
and
can
it would show
hide in the darkness. So
Hmm.
the darkness can now hide you, I guess, in this game.
Ooh.
precisely how hidden you were based on how bright or dark the
The
area was.
darkness.
While in Shadows, you're either hidden in the dark or you're not, which is portrayed by this little white silhouette, making you effectively invisible so long as you don't get too close. You can extinguish candles or destroy lamps to create more darkness. It's not an absolute game changer, at least in what I played, but it is a nice addition to have, and thinking back, I'm surprised Assassin's Creed hasn't implemented this earlier, considering Ubisoft was doing it in Splinter Cell over 20 years ago. I finally got to test the double assassinations with the Tanto and Hidden Blade combination. I really enjoyed using and having this mechanic back. Syndicate was the last game to have it, almost a decade ago. And yes, you can do double air assassinations as well, like the old games. I was worried it might be really contextual if enemies weren't grouped together in pairs a whole lot, but I had quite a bit of opportunity to use it in the small amount of missions I played. So I think keeping the Tanto and Hidden Blade equipped as one of your weapons is a must for the double assassinations alone. I didn't get to try the rush assassination for the Kusarigama that we've seen in a lot of the official gameplay, as it was much higher on the skill tree than what I could get at that point in the game. It does seem very strong though, so I'm definitely going to use that as well. I feel like the katana has the most limited and underwhelming of the special assassinations, where you can just kill people through a shoji door. That doesn't seem quite as strong or useful as double and rush assassination. And you can only have 2 weapons equipped at a time, so I know which 2 I'm likely using. Proning is obviously new as well. Again, not really a massive game-changing addition. It feels kind of natural to have in Assassin's Creed though. Of course, it's mostly useful for hiding in shorter grass, and I imagine snow. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play in the snow, but you can do some fun movement things with
You
it.
didn't get to
like
play in
going
the
from
snow as a
sprint
kid?
into a
And
dolphin
that
dive.
sucks.
You can assassinate while in
Yeah.
a prone position, so it allows for a little creativity and stealth. Not an earth-shattering change, but felt helpful to have. I use scout areas and tag enemies quite different
Oh,
the
man.
last few games. Noe has eagle vision, Yasuke does not, obviously since he's not a descendant of the Izu, so he wouldn't have the sixth sense. But enemies will be a more
Yeah.
faint shade of red the further they are, or depending on if they're behind a wall. From there, you can observe and tag them using the left trigger, as the drone bird we've had since Origins is now gone. I need to play with this some more to have a more concrete opinion
Yeah,
on
so
the
you
change.
won't have that bird anymore that you've had in all the other Assassin's Creed games.
They're taking the bird away from us.
Yeah, no more birdie.
No.
But I think most
How
of
could
us
they
thought
take the
drone
bird away from
mechanic
us?
was starting to overstay its welcome regardless. Detection felt consistent, no complaints there. You get a pretty forgiving timing window to still assassinate an enemy once you've been detected, allowing for frontal assassinations instead of just immediately putting you into combat. Again, you would hope functioning detection would be a given in any stealth game, but ever since Valhalla's broken detection on launch, I feel the need to make sure every time. Oh, and I almost forgot about the new cover system. I didn't get too much time to play around with it, but it does feel rather similar to Syndicate's, where you just walk up to a corner of a wall or whatever, and it'll automatically stick you into cover, no input needed. It's nice to have a cover system back, even if it is rather simple. Generally though, the stealth with Naue certainly feels like an improvement from the other RPG games. Again, I realize that isn't really saying a whole lot, but as someone who primarily likes to play Assassin's Creed for stealth, they made some solid improvements and additions. Unfortunately, I can't really say the
So, Pack, if you don't like stealth, it might be best for you to play as Yasuke if you get the game.
Huh.
Yeah.
same for parkour. While Ubisoft Quebec has given Naue
'Cause from
some
what I
fancy new...
remember, you don't like doing stealth parts. You like to just...
Yeah, not really. Yeah.
So Yasuke would probably be the best fit for you.
Might be, yeah.
Yeah.
animations and flips. At its core, parkour really doesn't feel all that different from the other RPG games mechanically. I will say, Naoi's sprinting speed is very fast, which is nice and what you would expect from this extremely agile shinobi. Her sprint is much faster than Yasuke's. They also flipped the crouch and dodge buttons, so ever since Origins, X or square has been dodge, while B and circle has been crouch. Now it's the opposite. It was a little to get used to at first. I kept crouching in the middle of combat, but a positive to this change is you won't be accidentally crouching when trying to hang off of a ledge or jump down while in parkour. This is also useful when using the parkour down mechanic, where if you hold B or circle when approaching a ledge, you can drop down to the nearest and safest surface below you, which gives you a little more control. This was still possible in Valhalla and Mirage, but it does feel improved and more consistent to use in Shadows, especially
See,
with
I
the
abuse
swapping
my
of the
shield a
buttons.
lot in Minecraft.
However, when it comes to the rest of the
really
mechanics
do.
and what you can actually do in parkour, it feels the same as the last few games.
I don't get why
Ejects are
some
still
people don't
extremely
use their
contextual
shield.
If you can even find many good opportunities to use them to begin with. Your momentum will sometimes still randomly stop or slow down for seemingly no reason. Some of the flips still have those weird pauses before executing them, and even if there were deeper parkour mechanics, the design of the world, at least in the couple areas I played in, doesn't support the use of it frequently. There's not many parkour paths or highways, and the streets are very wide, with no real way to get from one side to the other without touching the ground. Maybe there are some bigger and denser cities I didn't play in that are slightly better for parkour, but in the limited areas I got to experiment with it in some of the towns and castles, the parkour design was quite lacking. This doesn't really surprise me. It's a vast open world RPG, and like Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, there's going to be a lot of open space where parkour is impossible. So even if it was mechanically deeper, there still wouldn't be much opportunity to use it, which goes to show that world design is just as important for the parkour experience as mechanics. Mirage, on a mechanical level, was still in large part the same system as the other RPG games, but it did have Baghdad's terrific parkour design to help prop up some of the clunky, shallow parkour mechanics. Some people may not mind, but for the parkour enthusiasts out there who primarily play these games for the parkour, that could be a pretty big deal breaker. And this is now the 5th game to use this parkour system we've had since Origins. The 5th iteration, 5th game to use this parkour.
You just
That could be a
noticed that
pretty
they
big
have
deal
flips?
breaker. And this is now the 5th game to use this parkour system.
Yeah, he's
we've
like,
had
"What the
since
flip?"
Origins. The 5th
What the
iteration,
flip?
and yet on a mechanical level, it is still almost as shallow as it
Alright,
was
it's
back
always
in
gonna be like that.
Origins.
Never mind.
Just essentially now with flips and a ground. Yeah,
That's
there are
exciting,
flips now,
isn't
but
it?
that's not.
I thought it was gonna be a different type of.
No, it's the same flip every time.
Oh my god.
The new
Yeah.
mechanic, it's just a new
Wants
animation.
a different
We're
one.
in 2025 and still nowhere close to the level of parkour.
I don't know, man. This Assassin's Creed, I'm just
2007,
tapped out.
which is
Like,
just
I'm gonna wait
frustrating.
for the reviews.
Again,
I'm gonna wait
depending
for
on
the
kind of player you
discounts.
are,
It's great. It's
Same
play
great.
these games for,
If it's
Yeah,
trash,
be a small or big deal. Regardless, though,
I'm
Ubisoft
waiting
is
for
just
the
been-
undeniably part of
I
Assassin's
don't know what the hell
Creed's
they're doing over
identity
there. They
and
need to
what does
hire
make it
me.
so distinct.
Well, the state that they release a lot of games in also.
Yeah.
Some
I do
skull
want to
and
get this
bones.
game simply because it's set in Japan, and I've
Yeah,
been
me
waiting
too.
for an Assassin's Creed game in Japan because I want to play as a shinobi, bro. And she's gonna be the character I play as because she's the closest one to an assassin that we have.
I mean, you could just be honest and say that you're gonna play her because she's a girl.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like to look at that ass.
See,
I wasn't gonna say
see.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Reason, but that's not the only reason.
Oh, there's more to it.
Yes, the other reason is because of the fact that she actually plays as the assassin. Yasuke doesn't. Yasuke doesn't play as this. You can't parkour as him, which is one of the things I like about Assassin's Creed, is being able to climb buildings and do all that stuff. And on top of that, you also can't stealth your way through a place.
Something's got to improve and change here in the near future. This parkour system we've
gotta
had
get
since
that,
Origins needs to
that
go.
ninja,
Fortunately, at least this hitbox-based combat system we've also had since
that ninja
Origins
feeling,
has seen
you
some
know?
improvement. I was actually
Yeah, you
quite
can kick
impressed
people
with
down,
some
you see
since
that?
Origins needs to go. Fortunately, at least this
Yeah.
Calm
hitbox-based
down,
combat
ninja.
system
Calm
we've
down.
also
Yeah,
had
look
in
at that
Origins has
ninja
seen some
moves.
improvement.
Look at
I
that
was actually
ninja
quite
move.
impressed with the combat
Yeah.
the time I had
Look
with
at
it.
that ninja
Obviously, I know this
go.
game is
Look at that
inevitably going
ninja
to be
ass.
compared to Ghost of
They've
Tsushima
never
in
moved
its
like
combat.
this
Still
before.
not close to that level. I mean, I think Ghost of Tsushima has one of the best combat systems of any open world game.
Oh, that's my
But by
favorite.
Assassin's Creed standards, Shadows' combat felt
Bro,
pretty
is
good from
Yasuke
what I
freaking
played.
kicking the ass
Weapon
out of
strikes
a
feel
woman?
good, they have a lot
What
of
the fuck?
impact and
It's
weight
the-
to them.
what is it,
The feedback
1700?
of breaking off an
That's pretty
enemy's
messed
armor is
up.
satisfying, and the armor feels like better
in the day.
justification for some of the damage.
You never know, she might
was
be
one of
into
my
it.
Issues with Odyssey's
You know,
combat.
it is kind of insensitive for Ubisoft to specifically make one of the main characters a black guy who kicks the shit out of Asian people,
Ugh.
considering the fact that that's an actual thing that happens in real life way too often. Like, statistically speaking, the people who
Whoa.
commit hate crimes the most on Asians are usually black people. Did you know that? Like, statistically speaking.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and then they go out of their way to make a game where you play as a black guy running around feudal Japan, beating the shit out of Asian
Ivan?
people. Huh?
You speaking the truth?
I'm speaking the truth.
Yeah, there were a lot of
Come on.
anti-Asian hate crimes being committed by black people, I remember, in California.
Yeah.
I think they're too
it's like-
successful, and so then it makes them feel like more of a victim than they already think that they are. So then it's just like a it's like
I'm
a
the
super victim inferiority complex that
wonder if I could
it's
play
just
the
too
victim
much
card.
for them.
Do I get money if I play the victim card?
No, only black people get that. Yeah. Only black people get the victim card.
Even don't Mexicans too though?
I'm not Mexican though.
Luckily,
you're
not all black
black
people are like that, though. I can say from personal experience.
You're
So,
Hispanic, are you not?
What?
You're Hispanic, are you not?
Yeah, that's not Mexican.
Man, you're Mexican to me, bitch.
It's like saying
so are you more Spaniard, or is it?
that's a mystery.
Yeah, being a
find out.
Spaniard,
We'll
being a
find out on
Spaniard
the
is
next
kind of like
episode.
more akin to being European.
I got a picture of you, my guy. I could always just look at that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Of me and my coworkers.
Yeah,
You still have that?
I still have that. Yeah.
You saved it?
Yeah.
It's always been weird to me how Spaniards and Mexicans are like very different, honestly.
Holding the, I assume you're the guy with the glasses. Is that you?
Yeah.
Is he more Hispanic or more Spaniard, Jen?
Feel
I don't even
that's-
look dark though, that's the thing.
You look dark. Well, darker than I am. I can tell you that for sure.
Well, I'm not white. Oh shit, what the hell? Okay.
No, you're definitely not white. I would say Hispanic.
Oh, okay.
He looks more Hispanic than Spaniard.
Yeah.
Here, maybe you could tell me what you think. I'll send you the picture.
Stop.
Oh yes, give me his pictures.
No.
Do you really not want me to send you?
Stop sending people my stuff.
He doesn't like his nudes getting leaked, Jen.
That's right. That shit's private. Those dick pics are private.
Yeah, it was for you only, Jen.
For your eyes only.
I'm sending it to him anyways. There you go.
Stop. Alright.
Oh man.
Sorry, Pack. I just had to do that to you.
Wait, where did you send it?
Oh, he sent me like El Bozo.
It's a picture of a tripod going
Oh.
after Rachel, and then it has El Bozo on it. Because you're taking this L Pack. You don't get to see a picture
Oh.
of me. Sucks to suck.
I would never.
This is so laggy.
All right. So what's laggy?
I'm testing out a game.
Oh, did you notice
what
my
game?
my resource pack on Minecraft, Jen?
I mean, yeah, I guess I did.
Okay, because yeah, normal Minecraft does not quite look like that. At least not that detailed. Like here's.
Well, I'm not currently looking at your stream right now. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, this is vanilla Minecraft.
Are you guys seeing this?
'Cause this is vanilla Minecraft.
What is this? The fuck? What is this showing here? What the fuck?
What the fuck am I looking at?
What did you find?
That's what he likes. You see that? That's what he likes. That's what he likes.
I don't understand why this
That's what he
is
likes.
showing- What the
Ass niggas cannot.
I mean, it looks pretty nice to me too. So yeah.
I don't know
Not
why
read
that
this.
show. I've never looked up anything about Star Wars like crap like this. Like what?
That's what he likes. Huh?
Now it's time to look it up, Jen.
Huh?
Now it's time to look it up. Now that you know that you like it.
Huh?
Now it's time to look it up. Now that you know that.
Oh,
But yeah, this is the
I can see.
not vanilla Minecraft, and then
Yeah, I can definitely see the difference. For sure.
this is vanilla Minecraft.
Bro, there is like nobody watching your stream. What the hell?
It happens sometimes, I suppose. I think I offended the libs.
Yeah, man, you clearly did.
It's about having fun.
I know. See, yeah. I really
You
like.
have 310
I like that
followers.
resource pack because it's very true to vanilla, and yet it still kind of maintains the pixel art look. You just have to get kind of closer to the blocks to see the pixel art,
Yeah.
but it's still definitely there. That's why I like it.
Oh, why isn't it working?
Why isn't what working?
Your sound alert is offline.
It is?
I prefer the
Yeah.
DB look. DB craft. It makes it look like a
Let's
comic book.
see. Sound alerts should be on.
It's telling me it's offline.
I don't
Yeah, it
know.
says
Our
it's,
internet and like the update for OBS has been weird today. So
Bruh. That's weird.
yeah.
Alright, let's
Hey.
get back to watching the video.
How do I?
That. There's a certain rhythm and timing to be learned with the different weapons, and when to use charged light and heavy
I
attacks.
like how much she moves.
I liked
That's
how
pretty
distinct the shinobi and
Yeah, and that's the other thing I like about playing as her. Is that she's very nimble and her kills look very what do you call it?
Realistic or something?
athletic.
Not realistic. They just seem to have a flair.
Like
Yeah.
flowing.
Yeah.
samurai
He's got
enemy
that
types
flow.
help from one another.
It looks
The
real- it
shinobi
looks a lot
enemies
better.
play more like
It
Nawe, very agile, running and dodging around, throwing kunai and smoke bombs,
this is
just being
Yasuke's
pesky
gameplay.
ninjas, but they're very light on health and armor. While the samurai are of course the opposite, better defense, more armor, deal significant damage with a direct hit. Fighting them felt very different. Then there are the elites who feel like mini bosses in their own
care
right.
what people
They
say it
couldn't be
feels like.
instantly
If I feel like
assassinated
it's a
as
certain way, I
Nawe,
need to-
though I do believe you can unlock that as a skill. in
I
the
can't tell
shinobi
if these
tree.
people are getting paid
They also
by
healed
Ubisoft.
themselves,
That's
though
the
one of the
time.
times I fought an elite, this got a bit egregious. He healed himself from near death all the way back to full and did that multiple times. I eventually killed him, but that was really annoying to deal with. I hope they tone down how much the elites can heal themselves. That aside, there is some more depth in how enemies attack as well. There's still of course the red unblockable attacks, but there's now flurry attacks too, where you'll be hit with a string of 3 consecutive attacks that must be parried or dodged. As for Nawe and Yasuke themselves, they each have 3 weapon types. I got to experiment with all of them. They each have their own skill trees and special abilities, along with Nawe and Yasuke having a universal ability slot that can be used no matter what weapon you have equipped. For Yasuke, this was the Spartan kick. I don't know if that's what it's actually called, but that's what I'm calling it. And for Nawe, it was this combo of kicks that would knock an enemy over. I was able to unlock this really strong ability called Shadow Barrage for the Tanto and Hidden Blade. Once activated, it will have Nawe automatically dodge any attacks directed at her for 20 seconds. It felt too overpowered to me. 20 seconds is a long time to have an auto dodge.
Oh, you're sticking by your grandpa's nap.
That being said,
nap
even
schedule?
with that ability, combat was still pretty hard.
Grandpappy's
I
got a
wasn't
nap
expecting it to be
schedule.
as challenging as it was.
Time
I
for
played
my
on
nap.
normal and died quite a
My
bit, especially as Nawe.
Evening
Obviously,
nap.
it's easier with Yasuke. His strikes deal more damage, he can absorb more
Then
attacks, his parries are more effective
I'll
at
eat my
stunning
fruit.
enemies, and he gets 5
eat my
heals compared to
fruit cup.
Nawe's mere 3. But I enjoyed the challenge Nawe's combat presented.
the mush.
It not only
What
incentivizes
else do I
stealth, as fighting a horde as Nawe was very difficult, especially if each
He's
enemy
got
has
his
armor.
grandpa's
Not to
bedtime
mention
down
some
to
of
a
them have
pat.
firearms now, so you can be getting sniped
Yeah,
from
this man's
range
getting
while-
old. He can't stay up like the rest of us.
Yes, I
He
can.
needs his
Yeah,
naps. He needs his naps.
grandpa
Didn't
Yeah.
didn't you go to bed first last time?
No.
Me bed? What
99%
is sleep? I don't know what this thing is. Yeah.
You know what? You guys don't.
No, we don't take naps. We ain't grandpas like you.
Do you have a bed in your room?
Yeah.
Damn. Imagine having a bed in your room. That's crazy.
I definitely wouldn't have one of those.
She also feels like that
me
glass
neither.
cannon type of build in combat, where she can deal a lot of
so
damage,
confused.
but not take much herself. Which is how I typically like the combat to feel in Assassin's Creed, as assassins are more about
Alright,
precision
nap
and
time,
agility
boys.
than brute strength.
Alright.
Well, excluding Connor. But for those who prefer that, that's what
why you're always
Yasuke is
yawning?
for. Unlike Odyssey, the gameplay isn't really designed around creating builds with different
there
gear
he
and
goes.
weapons, as the character themselves are the builds. Again, feelings about that may vary. I know a lot of people who liked Odyssey actually really enjoyed having the freedom to create their own builds and fine-tune their stats in a specific way. That's not as much of a thing in Shadows because the character archetypes are already built in a specific way. Nawe for stealth, Yasuke for combat. There's only 2 slots of gear now as well, the torso and headgear, so customizing a very specific build isn't as doable. There are still stats on the weapons and gear, of course, and outfits provide perks, but for those who, for example, liked to make a poison ranged build or something specific like that in Odyssey, that's not looking possible here, or at least not to the same extent. The ranged weaponry in general is quite
dare
limited.
they.
As I mentioned, Nawe only has the kunai and shuriken, and the shuriken isn't really meant to be used as a lethal option, while Yasuke has the Teppo gun and a normal bow, which he can use in place of his second weapon slot. You might even be able to use 2 ranged weapons and no melee. I didn't actually test that out, I wish I did. The leveling system has returned to the normal numbered levels like in Origins and Odyssey. That applies to you, your gear, and enemies. Even the territories on the map have levels assigned to them. I was started as level 25, so I'm assuming these missions I played in Harima took place around the early mid-game. However, progression still works a little bit differently than Origins and Odyssey, because now there's also something called knowledge ranks. And you need a certain knowledge
You
rank
got
to
knowledge,
unlock a
Jen?
skill that you can then acquire with mastery points.
I said you got knowledge, Jen?
You do this by getting
Always.
knowledge points, which can be earned by completing some open world activities. For example, one I did was praying at a shrine. It might sound a little confusing, but basically skills are just locked behind knowledge ranks instead of levels now. But you still use skill points, or mastery points as it's called in this game, to acquire the skill itself. I prefer it this way to the power level system they tried to implement in Valhalla, where you had that absolutely massive web of a skill tree where most of the skills would only boost tiny stats. This way the skills feel more substantial. While my time with Shadows' open world was limited, and I was confined to a relatively small part of the overall map, I did manage to stumble upon a couple side activities. I already mentioned the shrines, but there was a lot of opportunity to observe and paint some of the wildlife that could then be used in the settlement. I didn't get to see how the settlement system itself worked though, unfortunately. I tried to find some side quests while I was exploring, as I felt some of the bigger side quest arcs in Odyssey were actually one of the game's biggest strengths, and this being made by the same team, I'm hoping for some similarly high effort, long running side quest arcs. but I did have to stay on the main path if I wanted to complete the main quest line in the time I was given, so I didn't find much aside from a quest where this little girl wanted me to avenge the death of her parents by killing 25 Ronin in Harima. This was less of a side story arc though, and more like those contracts from Odyssey where it was either kill 5 sharks around Greece, or kill Spartan hoplites in this specific area, etc. So there's probably more of these types of quests throughout the game. The exploration mode is back from the previous games as well, where it doesn't tell you exactly where your objective is, but instead gives some clues as to its general vicinity. Though it does work a little bit differently now with the scouts, as you can use your available scouts to scan an area of the map, unveiling any quests or objectives nearby. So now you don't have to go over to that area yourself to confirm if that's where the objective is, which makes it easier to locate, especially now that the drone bird is gone, as that's how you used to have to scan for the objective's location. Though, if you'd rather not do that at all, there is still a guided mode, I believe. This focus on less hand-holding in the exploration extends to viewpoints too. As we've known for a while, simply synchronizing at a viewpoint will no longer automatically fill your map in with all the nearby points of interest. Instead, from the viewpoint, you have to use the observe mechanic with the left trigger and manually mark a nearby point of interest you're wanting to go explore. The scouts aren't only used for scanning the map either though. I was able to use them to smuggle some supplies I found in an enemy base, and I was even able to purchase a little hideout in the port of Aga called a Kakurega. Here you can manage your scouts, refill supplies, move items into storage, and accept contracts. It's like a little safe house area you can access in towns. I realize now that I didn't actually check what the contracts were. That's my bad, but I'm sure some other creators were able to test that out. I don't have many thoughts on the world itself yet, as again, I only got to see so much. I did experience a season change. This is dynamic, so it happens based on how much time you've been playing in the world, as opposed to preset seasons that change based on where you are in the story, like in a game such as Hogwarts Legacy. Once I played enough in one season, I even had the option to manually change the season on the map screen. You do get this season changing loading screen, so it's not entirely seamless. Again, I really wanted to see what winter looked like, as that's what's going to shake up the landscape the most, but I didn't get to it in my time with the game. The visuals look good, maybe not quite the big jump a lot of people may have been expecting, with this being the first true next-gen AC game. Like, going from Valhalla and Mirage to this is nowhere near the leap it was from Black Flag to Unity in the previous generation, but Unity is a bit of a special case to be fair, because to me there's an argument to be made that it still looks better than most of the recent AC games. I do like the destructible environments though, that made the world feel a little more malleable, and it looks cool, especially in combat. All that said though, while again, I'm going to refrain from giving any conclusive opinion on the game until I get the chance to play a lot more of it.
It's interesting the way she holds her katana. She holds it in the back of her hand. Like, you notice that?
Yeah.
Instead of holding it frontward, she holds it towards her back.
Yeah.
I said
Which
it
I
again.
don't know. I don't think that's how anybody would hold a sword.
No, not
Because
really,
first
no.
off, you'd have no protection from that.
It's generally not as good.
Yeah.
If you liked the other RPGs,
I mean, it
chances
looks
are
cool,
you'll like
sure,
Shadows too.
but
Yeah.
it's not very practical in an actual combat situation.
Yeah.
Possibly more if you're really into stealth and wish that was an area the RPG games were better in. If you didn't like Origins, Odyssey, or Valhalla, and just want the classic formula of an AC game, like the old games or even Mirage, you probably won't like Shadows either, unless again you put a lot of or even Mirage, and just want the classic formula of an AC game, like the old games or even Mirage, you probably won't like Shadows either, unless again you put a lot of stock into something like Stealth that is a genuine improvement from the other RPGs. I might even say the combat is my favorite iteration of the RPG hitbox formula, but I'm not sure if I'll feel the same way after 50 plus hours or however long the game ends up being. Parkour is really still the biggest disappointment, but I'm not surprised. While I initially had hoped that some major changes could be coming to parkour when we first heard this game would be on a new version of the Anvil engine, that hope was quickly dispersed
Anvil
when we first saw
engine.
gameplay.
I guess that's what Ubisoft calls their own engine.
Yeah.
gameplay of it.
Interesting.
And I'm sure some of the AC parkour creators on YouTube will be dissecting some of the issues with it in greater detail. But let me know what you guys think about Shadows based on the gameplay you've seen and your current excitement level. Thank you for being patient with me recently. I know I've been quite inactive and I apologize. But as always, thank you for watching. Thank you to my YouTube and Patreon members for supporting the channel. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, everybody.
Oh no, what do you think?
I think it looks pretty good.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think you'd get it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. We'll just have to wait until we start seeing those reviews, huh?
Yeah, until we start seeing those reviews.
Okay. That's enough out of you, boy.
Nope.
Yes.
Wonder if I put a water thing there, will it spill over the ladder, or what does it do? What does water do when it interacts with a ladder in Minecraft? Does it destroy the ladder? I need to know these things. Will water destroy ladder? Water versus ladder, part 1. Okay, let's see. Water does not destroy ladder. Water goes around ladder. That is exactly what I want to see. Are you there, Jen?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Bruh.
I want to see the fastest way to climb in Minecraft.
The fastest way to climb
Yeah.
is to fly.
I know one of the fastest ways to get down is to fall into a water bucket, but
Or you could always just fall to your death. You know, that's always fine too. It's always a bright idea, right? Right?
nope.
Wow. I can't believe you'd say that to me. That's outrageous. I demand a refund.
Ender Pearl elevator. Looks like yeah, that would be very expensive. Climb trampoline. Yeah. Wonder if there's any other methods that would be easy to use for climbing faster than on a ladder. What? That's really weird. Oh, that is a really interesting method. What? Oh my. These just get too hacky. Too hacky and too time consuming to do. Oh my. Why are there so many zombies down here?
I do not know.
Who let the zombies down? Oh, come on. There we go. Then we got Ender Boys. Quite a few of them too. I should get the let's see.
Trump's victory tour continues, and this is it. Your final weekend to get 47% off new Daily Wire Plus annual memberships. Get unlimited access to uncensored, ad-free daily shows, groundbreaking documentaries, movies and series, and
Ben
more.
Shapiro.
Use code 47 at dailywire.com/subscribe. All right, so President Trump's victory tour continues. Yesterday, he was on Sean Hannity's show in a long discussion with Hannity, explaining how he gets things done, why he doesn't doubt himself. Here he was yesterday.
The question I have was, at any point, did you doubt you would be back here?
So it's a great question. It's something I don't think about. I never really thought about it. I don't think about, gee, will I be back? I just do it. I get it done. I get things done. I'm good at getting things done, and I set my mind to it.
Well, President Trump continued by suggesting he went through 4 years of hell and he won. Again, he's entitled to this. That he was put through legitimate hell over the course of this presidential run. He was indicted a bevy of times on spurious charges. He was nearly shot to death on camera, and then he was nearly shot to death again. He's gone through the ringer. He's entitled to the victory tour.
I went through 4 years of hell by this scum that we had to deal with. I went through 4 years of hell. I spent millions of dollars in legal fees, and I won. But I did it the hard way. It's really hard to say that they shouldn't have to go through it also. It is very hard to say that.
Okay, so here is the question for President Trump. As I've been saying, we're 3 days in, and President Trump is doing an enormous number of phenomenal things. We're going to get to more of them today. The big question for President Trump is, are you going to focus on the future, or are you going to focus on the past? Are you going to focus on the things that matter, or are you going to get distracted by things that really don't? I think this is going to be a very focused administration. He's come in, and he is moving with alacrity. He's moving fast. He is breaking things, and all of that is to the good. That focus, I think, is necessary, because when you win, it is very easy to get distracted by the high of being on top. But right now, he does have the Democrats down for the count, and all he has to do are the 80-20 issues. That's all he has to do. All he has to do are the common sense things that people elected him to do. Well, the good news is I think President Trump knows this. He says, listen, the Democrats right now, when it comes to immigration, why are they doing this? Well, there's not really a good excuse, is there?
But here's the thing I ask. Why would somebody say that open borders are good, where jails and mental institutions from other countries and gang members right off the streets of the toughest cities in the world are being brought to the United States of America and emptied out into our country? Why would anybody that even likes, you don't have to love our country, you have to like it. Why would anybody that likes our country, the Democrats, allow that to happen? And even now, I watch them on television, they're trying to justify it. You can't justify it. The only reason it can be is two reasons. You're stupid, and I don't think they're stupid. I think anybody that cheats that much and that well is not stupid. You're either stupid or you hate the country. Those are the only two reasons.
Now, again, it is hard to argue with that. What exactly would be the third excuse for why you want the borders open? And President Trump, again, honed in with Sean Hannity on the issues the Democrats are getting wrong on the common sense issues, like, for example, boys are not girls.
People are learning that they can't govern and that their policies are terrible. I mean, they don't want to see a woman get pummeled by a man in a boxing ring.
No.
They don't want to see men in women's sports, in other words. They don't want to see them, and they don't want to have transgender for everyone. They don't want a child leave home as a boy and come back 2 days later as a girl. A parent doesn't want to see that. And there are states where that can happen.
Again, all of this is common sense. He says the same thing with regard to taxes. He says, listen, people do not want high taxes. Democrats want to raise your taxes. These are the common sense, middle of the road positions. Again, these are not conservative positions. If you think boys are not girls is a conservative position, or we need borders is a conservative position, or higher taxes are unpopular is a conservative position, I urge you to see a mental health specialist. Here's President Trump talking about tax policy.
This is the only group of people that want to raise your taxes. They say we want to raise your taxes. You know, if they don't work with us on the Trump tax cuts extending, that would mean it would go back to the taxes. We got the largest tax cut in history. That would mean the taxes would go up more than any tax hike in the history of our country. And normally you'd say, that's got to be the easiest negotiation in history, because if they did that, how could they ever win an election? But they'll fight us on that. They fight us on things. It's incredible.
Here, I ran into...
They don't use common sense. In my opinion, the Democrats don't use common sense.
Now, again, because the left has lost it, they continue to oppose this agenda, and this is ushering in a sea change, not just nationally, but internationally. So President Trump spoke yesterday at Davos, right? Davos is the World Economic Forum. According to the Wall Street Journal, President Trump and his allies used the World Economic Forum to offer the global elite a warning. He intends to follow through on his America First campaign promises, spurning allies in the process if necessary. He addressed the World Economic Forum virtually, and he did not hold back. He was introduced by WF President and CEO, a guy named Borja Brende, who thanked Trump for joining 3 days into the presidency. Again, things have changed just a little bit around the world with President Trump's victory.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, on behalf of all the 3,000 participants here in Davos. We really underline that joining us the third day in your presidency, live taking questions here is so appreciated, and we are already ready for receiving you next year in person. So thank you very much, and all the best from Davos.
Thank you.
What exactly did President Trump have to say? Well, he led off by demolishing the failed Biden administration in front of a room full of people who pretended to like Joe Biden for several years. When I say pretended to like, I mean, if you ever watched any of the international events where Joe Biden appeared next to other international leaders, they could not stand him. They did not want to be around him. He was wandering off into the woods randomly during photo shoots. And when it came to President Trump, they may not have liked President Trump, but at least they respected President Trump. Here's President Trump demolishing Joe Biden in front of the international community.
My administration is acting with unprecedented speed to fix the disasters we've inherited from a totally inept group of people and to solve every single crisis facing our country. This begins with confronting the economic chaos caused by the failed policies of the last administration. Over the past 4 years, our government racked up $8 trillion in wasteful deficit spending and inflicted nation-wrecking energy restrictions, crippling regulations, and hidden taxes like never before. The result is the worst inflation crisis in modern history and sky-high interest rates for our citizens and even throughout the world. Food prices and the price of almost every other thing known to mankind went through the roof. President Biden totally lost control of what was going on in our country, but in particular with our high inflation economy and at our border.
Now, President Trump talked a lot about American domestic policy at the WEF, but all of that was merely the precursor to him turning to international politics. He started talking about the American economy. And he said, listen, America is open for business now. You should invest in the United States of America because we are no longer attempting to exclude people from entering the American marketplace if they want to invest in the American marketplace.
America is back and open for business. And this week, I'm also taking swift action to stop the invasion at our southern border. They allowed people to come in at levels that nobody's ever seen before. It was ridiculous. I decided and declared to do, and very, very importantly, a national emergency on our border, immediately halted all entry of illegal border crossers, of which there were many, and began promptly returning the illegal trespassers back to the place from which they came. That action, as you've probably seen, has already started very strongly. I've deployed active duty U.S. military and National Guard troops to the border to assist in repelling the invasion. It was really an invasion.
Well, then he turned to the economy. And here he starts making his threats. He says, listen, you want to invest in the United States? We'd love to have your investments in the United States. And if you don't want to work with us, then get ready for some tariffs.
My message to every business in the world is very simple. Come make your product in America, and we will give you among the lowest taxes of any nation on earth. We're bringing them down very substantially, even from the original Trump tax cuts. But if you don't make your product in America, which is your prerogative, then very simply you will have to pay a tariff, differing amounts, but a tariff which will direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt.
Now, again, President Trump has a love for tariffs that I think is unjustified by economic knowledge when it comes to how to bring down prices, for example, or make products more innovative. It turns out that comparative advantage is one of the great benefits of living on a planet with a huge number of people who all have a diverse skill set. If you actually pursue President Trump's policy here to its logical endpoint, which is either invest in the United States or we are going to tariff you, you end up with autarky. Autarky is not a particularly useful economic system. It tends to lead to economic stagnation, to incredibly high prices. See, it's one thing. You don't actually have to threaten people to invest in the United States. It turns out the United States receives extraordinary amounts of investment. Why? Because we're a friendly business environment here in the United States, as opposed to so many other countries around the world. If you invest in the United States, we have a robust legal system. We protect private property. You know that your money isn't just going to get stolen. It's not going to disappear. The government isn't just going to nationalize your industry. Our tax rates are very competitive. They need to be made more competitive, and President Trump is focused on that. Our labor regulations are not nearly as onerous as, for example, Europe. Right? Those are all great reasons for people to invest in the United States. If the idea is we're going to make all those things worse, and then we're going to tariff you if you don't actually come into the United States, you're just going to end up with more high prices in the United States. Do I think that Trump means this in that way? I don't. I think that what he's really just saying is, look, if you guys have not come into the United States because you have a misimpression that we're going to be pushed around on the international stage by you, wrong you are. It's not going to work that way. President Trump uses tariffs historically as leverage. He used them historically as leverage. Listen, President Trump loves leverage when it comes to the economy. The problem is so does big tech. Big tech, the so-called free services, they aren't really free at all. You pay for them by letting these huge tech companies record your activity and sell it to advertisers. If you don't want to be a product that's bought and sold, you need to start protecting your privacy online. The way I do that is with ExpressVPN. If you don't protect your online privacy, your internet service provider can see every website you visit. Third-party data brokers can collect logs from apps and websites, tracking your activity through your IP address to build an incredibly detailed profile of you. But because I use ExpressVPN, 100% of my online activity is rerouted through secure, encrypted servers. That means my ISP has no record of my activity and nothing to sell. ExpressVPN also hides my IP address, so data brokers can't track me or assemble any profiles about me. Just like that, I'm no longer a product to be sold. You don't have to be a tech expert to use it. Just one click and you're connected. And tech experts at CNET and The Verge agree, ExpressVPN is the #1 VPN. I partnered with ExpressVPN because I want all my viewers to have access to this important privacy protection. Right now, you can get an extra 4 months for free when you go to expressvpn.com/Ben. That's expressvpn.com/Ben. Get an extra 4 months totally free. Also, you know what's frustrating about running a business? The endless hours you spend chasing down receipts, managing expenses, trying to keep track of who's spending what. If you're like most business owners, you're probably juggling multiple financial tools and you still don't have a clear picture of your spending. That's why I'm excited to talk to you about Ramp. Ramp is the corporate card and spend management software designed to help you save time and put money back in your pocket. Think of Ramp as your financial guardian. It builds spending policies right into your corporate cards. You set the rules and limits, giving your team the freedom to make necessary purchases while maintaining control. No more surprise expenses or policy violations. What's even better? Ramp automates the entire expense reporting process. Those tedious hours spent organizing receipts, categorizing expenses, gone. Ramp's intelligent system handles it all in real time, letting you close your books 8 times faster than before. Here's what makes Ramp truly special. It brings everything under one roof. From card expenses and reimbursements to vendor payments and accounting automation, you get complete visibility of your business spending in one seamless platform. And now, get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/Shapiro. 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 Cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Terms and conditions do apply. Again, there's an ideological commitment to tariffs, which suggests autarky, labor regulations being stricter in the United States, artificial restrictions on innovation, artificial restrictions on wages and prices, right? That sort of stuff. And then a threat that if you don't actually do what we want you to do, then we'll tariff you, right? That, I think, is bad economic policy. I don't think that's what President Trump is talking about. Again, historically, that is not what he's talked about. What he's talked about instead is the idea that he's going to tariff you if you don't make concessions with regard to some of your own trade barriers or your own subsidies or your own regulatory frameworks. Then he turned to foreign policy and he said, listen, I'm going to ask the NATO members to increase the defense spending.
Finally, as we restore common sense in America, we're moving quickly to bring back strength and peace and stability abroad. I'm also going to ask all NATO nations to increase defense spending to 5% of GDP, which is what it should have been years ago.
Okay, now, again, he is right about this as well. Rick Grenell, who is a foreign policy advisor to the president, he actually piped in to the WEF, and he appeared on screen to slam the former Dutch prime minister's stance with regard to Ukraine joining NATO. Mark Rutte had said that the NATO bloc should ensure that Russia never attacks Ukraine again by allowing Ukraine into NATO. And Grinnell said, hold up, you don't get to do that. You don't get to push the burden on us as the biggest sponsor of NATO unless you also increase your funding of NATO. Quote, I think you're going to run into a big buzzsaw in America if we have the NATO Secretary General talking about adding Ukraine to NATO, said Grinnell. You can't ask the American people to expand the umbrella of NATO when the current members aren't paying their fair share. And that includes the Dutch, who need to step up. Now, again, Grinnell isn't wrong about that. He's not wrong about that. One of the big problems with regard to Ukraine historically has been the West writing checks they weren't willing to cash, saying to Ukraine, you should try to join the EU. You should try to join NATO. You should join the West. And then being unwilling to actually undergo the sacrifice necessary for that to happen, which tends to invite aggression from the Russians, which is precisely what the Russians did. Now, Russia, for its part, has responded to President Trump's threat of sanctions on them if they don't come to the table by saying nothing. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told Russian media, quote, we do not see any particular new elements here. Peskov added that Trump liked sanctions and used them often during his first presidential term. Peskov said Russia is ready for an equal and careful dialogue with the United States, which we had during Trump's first term. We're waiting for signals that have not yet been received. Now, we'll have to see what signals they exactly are looking for. If they're looking for President Trump to just surrender on these issues, I really doubt that is going to happen. Now, meanwhile, in other big moves, President Trump yesterday signed an order to declassify files with regard to JFK, RFK, and MLK assassinations. Here is President Trump signing that executive order.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order ordering the declassification of files relating to the assassinations of President John F. Kennedy, Senator Robert F. Kennedy, and Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years, for decades. And everything will be revealed. Okay? Give that to RFK Jr.
Yes, sir.
Well, now, realistically speaking, is there a lot left that has not been revealed? So, there was a release of many of the JFK files in 2022. According to the National Archives and Records Administration, 97% of the roughly 5 million pages in its collection related to the assassination were already public. The president promised during his first administration he would release the remaining JFK files. That included some 3,000 documents that had never been made public and 30,000 that had been previously released with redactions. But it turns out he didn't do that. Now, in 1992, Congress had mandated that all assassination documents were supposed to be released within 25 years, which again would put that number at 2017. Do I think there's going to be a lot in here? Do I think in the end we're going to get some sort of great revelation with regards to JFK, RFK, or MLK? I really doubt it. I really doubt it because, again, the forensic data tend to show that Lee Harvey Oswald was the sole shooter of JFK, that RFK was killed by an assassin named Sirhan Sirhan, and that MLK was shot by James Earl Ray. Now, that tends to be what the evidence shows. Could there be some sort of bombshell lurking there? It's possible. I do think that this is probably going to be more like Geraldo's vault than anything else. I don't think there's going to be a lot of there, but why exactly would you not release this stuff? It's good for more to be in the public arena. Meanwhile, on immigration, President Trump is charging ahead. The press secretary, she says that the president took historic action, 10 executive orders to secure our homeland. Here she was.
Well, President Trump took historic action on his first day in the Oval Office, signing 10 executive orders to secure our homeland, secure our southern border, and launch the largest mass deportation operation in American history. And in just 33 hours of his signing with his pen, the Customs and Border Patrol and ICE got immediately to work to deport violent illegal criminals from our country. They have arrested nearly 500 of these individuals in the interior, and they will be sent home. And those flights are already underway this morning. So President Trump is delivering on his promise immediately to make America safe again.
That is Carolyn Levitt, the White House press secretary, explaining Congress, for its part, has now cleared the Laken-Riley Act. Again, things have shifted so dramatically here that 46 Democrats supported it in the House. That's how dramatically things have shifted on illegal immigration, and that is solely due to Joe Biden. It's not even due to President Trump, because Trump was making the same case in 2015. What happened is that Joe Biden did the exact obverse. He did the opposite. He let the borders be wide open, and Americans were like, nope, don't like that at all. And that's how the Laken-Riley Act happens. The measure directs federal immigration enforcement to detain and deport those without legal status charged with minor theft or shoplifting. Representative Randy Feenstra of Iowa praised the legislation in a speech on the floor of the House ahead of the vote. Feenstra said, "I look forward to President Trump signing this bill into law to let immigrants who break our laws know that they are held accountable for their crimes." The Senate, by the way, passed the bill 64-35, which is an overwhelming number. It is beyond filibuster. Right? That's a big number. Those are big numbers. And again, that is because Democrats recognize it is politically toxic to oppose common sense alternatives with regard to illegal immigration. The first images, by the way, of ICE mass deportations show arrests of MS-13 gang members, murder suspects. That is not a giant shock because, of course, if you are the administration, the first people you're going to deport are the criminals. Those are the people you're going to focus in on. You're going to wait to deport the nanny until you've gotten through everybody else because maybe she can make a case for why she ought to be in the country. But when it comes to MS-13 members, there is no reason in anyone's mind why those people should be in the country. This led to one of the unbelievable clips of the day. This one was out of ICE Boston, an illegal immigrant from Haiti with 17 convictions was filmed being taken away. And here's what he had to say.
I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
Yep. Well, saying the quiet part out loud right there. Thank Obama for everything he did for me. Thank Obama for everything. Thank you, Joe Biden. Yep. Well, I think we know maybe now why Joe Biden wanted an open border. Maybe. It turns out that if you wish to craft an entirely new body politic, a great way of doing that is opening the border and then amnestying as many people as possible. Turns out that is an excellent way of doing it. And that guy just said the quiet part out loud. Well, if our prior immigration system seems kind of sick, you don't need to be sick this year. You need to make sure that you're maintaining your health. That's what I'm doing. Hitting the gym, spending time with my family, even with my busy work schedule. When I was younger, I used to think I could just power through on pure conservative willpower and caffeine. I learned pretty quickly peak performance requires peak nutrition, which means eating enough veggies. Well, I don't like veggies, so I'm very thankful to have Balance of Nature, which fits right into even the busiest of days. Imagine trying to eat 31 different fruits and veggies every day. That sounds miserable and time-consuming. Well, with Balance of Nature fruits and veggies, there's never been a more convenient dietary supplement to ensure you get a wide variety of fruits and veggies daily. Balance of Nature takes fruits and veggies, they freeze-dry them, they turn them into a powder, and then they put them into a capsule. You take your fruit and veggie capsules every day, and then your body knows precisely what to do with them. It's kosher, which means I can pop that right into the protein smoothie and keep this rockin' bod going strong. Go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code Shapiro for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer. Plus, get a free bottle of fiber and spice. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Shapiro. They've been helping me get through a season where everyone around me seems to be getting pretty sick all the time. Well, not I, because balanceofnature.com has been making it happen for me. Balanceofnature.com, promo code Shapiro for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer. Also, have you ever heard of Rosparks? This dual-action prescription merges the powerhouse ingredients found in generic Viagra and Cialis into one formidable treatment. But it's not merely about the ingredients in the medication, it's how you're taking it. Rosparks are designed to dissolve under your tongue, allowing the treatment to hit your bloodstream faster than old-school pills. This method allows for fast absorption directly into the bloodstream, bypassing the digestive system. The result? Quicker onset of action, reducing the wait time typically associated with traditional pills. Plus, tadalafil, the active ingredient in Cialis, lasts in the system for up to 36 hours. Find out if prescription Rosparks is right for you. To get $15 off your first order and find out if prescription Rosparks are right for you, connect with the provider at ro.co/Ben. That's ro.co/Ben for $15 off your first order. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. Only available if prescribed after an online consultation with a provider. Go check them out right now. See if Rosparks are correct for you. Connect with the provider, ro.co/Ben. That's ro.co/Ben for $15 off your first order. Meanwhile, Stephen Miller, who of course has been a longtime immigration hawk, he's the Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and an advisor to Homeland Security. He said we are going to see a massive scale up in enforcement activities.
The initial immigration raids have already arrested and removed some of the most vicious criminals in this country, including child cases, homicide cases, assault, attacks on children. And this is just the very beginning in the effort to liberate this country from the migrant criminal threat. In the coming days, you're going to see a massive scale up in enforcement activities all across the country to dismantle these criminal networks. And not only is it going to be ICE engaging these raids, but also they're going to have support from their law enforcement partners in FBI, ATF, DEA, and U.S. Marshals. We're going to leverage the full power of federal law enforcement at President Trump's command and direction to save this country from this occupation.
Right. He then continued, he suggested, listen, if you try to shelter criminal illegal immigrants, then we are going to charge you criminally, which of course, this is all common sense. It's all common sense.
You're also going to see, as you mentioned, the Department of Justice pursuing civil and, if necessary, criminal charges against anybody who shelters or harbors criminal aliens. That includes individuals in sanctuary cities who are harboring violent and dangerous criminals from federal law enforcement. The tables have turned, and now those who protect criminal aliens are going to face the legal consequences that exist in statute.
Now, the Trump administration is apparently weighing sending 10,000 troops to the border and using bases to hold illegal immigrants. That's according to CBS News. Again, on Wednesday, the White House press secretary, Carolyn Leavitt, told reporters the president had signed another executive order to deploy 1,500 troops to the southern border. There are already 2,500 troops down there. But an internal CBP memo dated January 21st indicates a plan to dispatch about 10,000 soldiers to help the agency's mission at the southern border. Bottom line is, this administration is taking illegal immigration incredibly seriously. Now, meanwhile, a federal judge, has temporarily blocked President Trump's executive order aiming at ending birthright citizenship. Now, as we discussed a little bit earlier in the week when Trump signed this was exactly what was going to happen. This is always going to end up at the Supreme Court level. The president does not really have the ultimate capacity to simply determine who is a citizen and who is not under the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. Now, I think that Trump's interpretation is correct, by the way. I think that when it says in the 14th Amendment, born, naturalized, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, subject to the jurisdiction thereof means you're not subject to your foreign citizenship jurisdiction. If you're here illegally, for example, and you have a baby, the baby, if you are a Mexican citizen, you're here illegally, for example, the baby's a Mexican citizen. That means not subject to the jurisdiction thereof. The baby should not be an American citizen simply because the baby was born here. However, that was always going to end up in the Supreme Court. In a written ruling issued on Thursday, U.S. District Judge John Konauer entered a temporary restraining order prohibiting the Trump administration from implementing the executive order until he can hear arguments over its legality. The federal government has long recognized birthright citizenship. The court ruling is one of the first legal hurdles Trump faces as he seeks to deliver on his campaign promise to crack down on illegal immigration. Now, listen, this, I think, smacks of a Trump political win, even if he loses, meaning if this goes to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court rules the other way, Trump can say he tried to do what he could. And no act of Congress would have been able to trump the Supreme Court's interpretation of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution without another constitutional amendment. But as I said, this was always going to end up being adjudicated inside the judiciary. It was never going to be decided by simple EO. That was never going to happen. Now, meanwhile, in a further list of good news, President Trump is doing things for the pro-life movement. That began yesterday. And our own senior White House reporter, Mary Margaret Olahan, she was on scene at the White House reporting this. Mary, great to talk to you.
Thanks so much, Ben. Great to be here.
So tell me about what you've learned about pardons for pro-lifers wrongly imprisoned under Joe Biden's Justice Department. You knew about this a little bit early.
Yes, so we were the first to report yesterday morning that Donald Trump was imminently about to pardon the pro-life activists unjustly prosecuted by the Biden DOJ. And sure enough, several hours later, Donald Trump did exactly that from the Oval Office, signed an executive order pardoning 23 pro-life activists. And of course, the Thomas More Society, the law firm representing these guys, had petitioned Trump to pardon them. They were waiting with breathless anticipation. So as soon as we got the news, they were rejoicing. All these pro-lifers were, many of them were reunited with their families last night. So just really exciting, heartwarming stories and a hopeful sign to a lot of people that Donald Trump is ready to fulfill many campaign promises made on life.
Now, Mary Margaret, you've also learned some important news regarding Vice President J.D. Vance and the March for Life. I spoke at the March for Life a few years ago. Apparently, J.D. Vance is going to be doing the same.
Yes, we were excited to be the first to report also that JD Vance will be speaking at the March for Life today, the 52nd annual March for Life here in Washington, D.C., where many, many pro-lifers will be gathered to march against abortion. And I'm told this is a really good sign of Vance's attitudes towards life, about the administration's attitudes towards life. Of course, we already know that JD Vance is staunchly pro-life Catholic, but I'm told that this is signaling a strong pro-life, pro-family approach from the administration, and Vance is going to be heading that.
Mary Margaret, really appreciate the reporting.
Thanks for having me.
Now, meanwhile, President Trump is making moves on the foreign front as well. Some I think are good, and some are a little bit more mixed. We'll get to all that in just one moment. First, it's the final weekend to get 47% off your new Daily Wire Plus annual membership. 47% because, of course, we are celebrating Donald Trump as the 47th president of the United States. Our celebration will continue, but the deal ends Sunday. All you need to do is head on over to dailywire.com/subscribe. Use code 47. You'll lock in 47% off for an entire year of Daily Wire Plus. The Daily Shows, our original groundbreaking entertainment, including the #1 documentary of the decade, Am I Racist? And so much more. Every buck you spend goes directly back into the fight to bring you the facts and reshape culture. Go to dailywire.com/subscribe. Use code 47 at checkout, and let's build the future together. Okay, meanwhile, President Trump is making some interesting moves in the Middle East. It's hard to sort of read the tea leaves on what exactly he's expecting there. On the one hand, on the good side, President Trump made his very first call as president to any foreign leader to Mohammed bin Salman, who, of course, is the essentially leader of Saudi Arabia. MBS is famously somebody who wants to join the Abraham Accords, wants to modernize his nation. He has also pledged a $600 billion investment into the United States, the Crown Prince. According to the Associated Press, he said on Thursday, the kingdom wants to invest $600 billion in the United States over the next 4 years. Comments that came after President Trump earlier put a price tag on returning to the kingdom as his first foreign trip. The comments reported early Thursday by the state-run Saudi press agency came in a phone call with President Trump that marked Trump's first phone call with a foreign leader since his inauguration on Monday. The reason that is positive is because when it comes to the Middle East, basically you now have 4 forces that are shaping the Middle East. One is Iran, which has been thoroughly beaten over the course of the last year in terms of all of its proxies. Its proxy forces from Hezbollah to the Houthis to Hamas have basically been downgraded or wiped out. Okay, and then you have the Turks. The Turks have been really flexing their muscles in Syria. The takeover of Syria by a terrorist offshoot of Al-Qaeda and ISIS, that really was Turkish. That was Erdogan in Turkey, who basically turned a client of his, a terror client of his, into the leaders of the new Syria. Then you have the Israelis. The Israelis obviously have defended themselves quite capably over the course of the last year and a half, destroying most of the battalions of Hamas, destroying thoroughly Hezbollah's military capacity, hitting Hezbollah so hard, actually, that Syria fell because Syria was deeply reliant on Hezbollah, striking Iran directly, taking out its air defenses. And then finally, you have the Saudis. And the Saudis have been basically attempting to forge an alliance with the Israelis. And that's always been just beyond the horizon. If Donald Trump had been reelected the first time, then that would have been cleared. After October 7th in 2023, after the war in Gaza, Saudi has been wanting to get into the Abraham Accords, particularly because, again, Iran is still out there, which is a threat to Saudi Arabia, and Turkey is a threat to Saudi Arabia because Turkey likes to sponsor the Muslim Brotherhood, and the Muslim Brotherhood is a threat to the Saudi monarchy. So President Trump reaching out to the Saudis is quite a good thing. That is a very, very good move, and being able to secure a massive investment from the Saudis in America is definitely a good thing. He is also demanding that Saudi Arabia and OPEC lower the oil prices. He was at Davos doing just that. Here he was explaining.
I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. You got to bring it down, which, frankly, I'm surprised they didn't do before the election. If the price came down, the Russia-Ukraine war would end immediately. Right now, the price is high enough that war will continue. You got to bring down the oil price. You got to end that war.
Now, that's kind of a fascinating take because, again, President Trump was portrayed as somebody who didn't care what happened in Ukraine. Bringing down the oil prices undercuts the Russian market. That's kind of the idea here. Russia is making its money by selling oil at bargain basement prices and then shipping it through third parties to places including Europe. The United States has filled in a lot of that gap. If Saudi were to start pumping at a serious rate, then they would be undercutting the Russian oil prices as well. And then Russia would basically be strangled in terms of its own economy. So it's fascinating. He wants more money from Saudi, but lower oil prices. At the same time, he is reaching out to the Saudis. Well, in later news, the Oscars are upon us. The nominations are out, and they are as absurd as you might believe they were. They are just ridiculous. So first of all, they will be hosted by Conan. Now, listen, I think Conan used to be one of the funniest people in America. I'm not so sure he's still got it. I haven't seen anything funny from Conan for years and years and years. He's a safer choice than somebody like a Ricky Gervais, for example. But will he be better than Jimmy Kimmel? Listen, anybody would be better than Jimmy Kimmel. A bag of flaming dog crap would be better than Jimmy Kimmel at this point. Then there are the actual nominations. And man, are they woking up the joint. Whoa! Whoa. These nominations are the wokest Hollywood nominations for Oscars I have seen since, like, last year. Like, this is wild. But actually really, 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 like, insanely woke. So, the number one movie in terms of nominations, and close to leading in the all-time nominee list, is one of the worst movies I have ever seen in my entire life. It is called Emilia Perez. It is legitimately a bottom 5 film. I have seen thousands of films at this point in my life. Emilia Perez is one of the 5 worst movies I have ever seen. Now, ironically, another Best Picture winner, The Shape of Water, is also in that list. But Emilia Perez is, if anything, worse than Shape of Water. If you wish to see a full-scale 20-minute review of Emilia Perez, head on over to our YouTube page, where I actually reviewed it soup to nuts, went through all the numbers. It's horrifying. It's a musical, for those who don't know, about a transgender Mexican drug cartel leader who contacts a lawyer, played by Zoe Saldana, to help him transition into her. And then ends up in a bizarre familial situation with his ex-wife, Selena Gomez, who's having an affair with another guy. Well, I mean, she doesn't know she's having an affair because, as far as she knows, her husband's dead. It turns out that her husband isn't dead. He just chopped off the appendages. And it's a musical. It's awful, awful, awful. Now, it's not just that this has received 13 nominations, almost as many nominations as All About Eve, one of the great films of all time, with 14 nominations. It came in, basically, it's tied for second for the most nominations in Academy Awards history, which is just absurd on every level. One of the nominees is a person named Carla Sofia Gascon. Now, Carla Sofia Gascon is a dude and is nominated for Best Actress. Best Actress. This person is a man. This man started transitioning in, I kid you not, 2018. In 2018, this person completed most of, quote unquote, her gender transition. This person is 52 years old. So this person started becoming a woman in, quote unquote, her 40s, and now is listen, ladies, if you want to demonstrate your full scale inferiority, it seems to me that nominating a man to win Best Actress is a pretty good way of doing that. By the way, can't sing, not a particularly good actor. Carla Sofia Gascon didn't do anything in the role, really. In fact, the only time Carla Sofia Gascon is actually convincing is when, quote unquote, she is playing a man at the beginning, because guess what? Dude. That would be a dude. The song El Mal is nominated for Best Original Song, which is ridiculous because it's not a good song at all. It's a terrible film. And of course, the only reason it's being nominated is because it's everything, right? It's everything having to do with Trump. This is all just an anti-Trump Hollywood bleep fit. That's all this is. It's a story about Mexico, which of course Trump thinks is terrible. And it's a story about a man who believes that he is a woman. Okay. The movie's so bad. I mean, honestly, I don't want to do a re-review of the movie. Go check out my review at YouTube. All I will say is that the entire movie glorifies a man who decides to mutilate himself, abandon his family, and is a drug cartel leader. And that's the hero of the film. So yeah, it's also, the music is just, it sounds, the music sounds as though a deaf and dumb rapper wrote it. That's what it sounds like. Meanwhile, other prominent nominations. Sebastian Stan has been nominated for Best Actor in a Leading Role for The Apprentice, which of course is a movie about Donald Trump. That movie failed at the box office. Nobody really wanted to see it. I haven't seen it myself because, frankly, I didn't find it all that interesting. First of all, if you're going to do a movie about Donald Trump as a young man, it can't be a drama. It sort of has to be a comedy. I mean, we all remember Donald Trump as a young man, at least those of us who are older than the age of 20. Donald Trump's been part of our public life since the 1970s. So I don't know. So he gets nominated. That, of course, is just a way of slapping Donald Trump, of course. The other nominees for Best Picture are Anora, a charming story about a prostitute who falls in love with a Russian gangland leader's son. That's Anora. The Brutalist, which I have not yet seen, but I'm interested to see, which is about a Jewish refugee who comes to the United States and is apparently an amazing architect, and his experiences with American capitalism. I'm not sure I'm going to love the thematic of it, but it is Adrian Brody and Guy Pearce, and seems at least somewhat interesting. A Complete Unknown, which is the Bob Dylan movie. Conclave, which is a horrifying piece of trash. Conclave, as I talked about, I didn't even see the movie. I just read the book. When I read the book, I was like, there's no way you're going to put me through seeing this movie. No way. Spoiler alert, the twist ending in Conclave is that the whole thing is about the Pope dies, and it's the College of Cardinals figuring out who's the new Pope. Spoiler alert, it's the trans lady from Emilia Perez. It's actually an intersex person. And it turns out that some of the Cardinals know this and go along with it because it's too late to reverse it. Which, do you even Catholic, bro? That is not a thing. Okay, Dune Part 2 is nominated, but certainly will not win because it's the best movie of the year, so we can't have that. We can't have nice things. So we'll not, I mean, nobody's even mentioned Dune Part 2 as a possible winner. Nobody's even, like, it's,
I believe Dune 2 was really
except
good.
for Wicked, the highest box office on this list, and nobody's even mentioned it. Emilia Perez, I already mentioned. A movie called I'm Still Here, which is a foreign film about a person who was disappeared by the Brazilian government in the 1970s. A movie called Nickel Boys, which I'm not sure did anything at the box office, and is it's sort of the Academy sop to covering race this year. So again, it's an issue movie
Ben Shapiro,
based on the Colson Whitehead book about a boys' school, a racist boys' school in the South in the 1960s. A movie called The Substance, which is a body horror film starring Demi Moore as an aging actress who decides to do terrible things in order to assure that basically a doppelganger of her, a young doppelganger of her, can become a star. And Wicked. So, terrible list of films. Truly bad list. I mean, really, really, really bad. And to be fair, I've seen 4 of these films, I believe. Dune 2 is by far the best of these films, and it will certainly not win. For Best Director, Emilia Perez's director won a Best Director award, slot, which I don't understand at all. And then you have the directors of Anora, The Brutalist, The Substance, and A Complete Unknown. Actor in a leading role, you have Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. He's supposed to be terrific. Timothée Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. He's supposed to be terrific. I'm not a big Chalamet fan, but he's supposed to be really, really good in this film. Coleman Domingo as in the movie called Sing Sing, which I've never even heard that movie. I don't know what that is. Ralph Fiennes in Conclave, meh, and Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. So, yeah, again, you have a couple heavy hitters going up against one another in that particular category. Actress in a leading role, the only thing that matters here is that you have a dude who's in this category. So first of all, I just want to know, why does the Academy insist on having separate actor and actress? Because obviously these categories mean nothing. You could just combine them, especially since in Hollywood, we're now supposed to say that actresses are actors. You're not supposed to say actress in normal conversation. When you go to Hollywood and you meet an actress, you're supposed to call her an actor because she might be a man or something, because it's a sexist category. So I'm not sure why the Oscars continue with this, except as a form of affirmative action to, I would say, biological women, but it's no longer even relegated to that. Other nominees include Cynthia Erivo, who I think was terrific in Wicked, Mikey Madison in Anora, which I haven't seen, Demi Moore, who's supposed to be good in The Substance, and Fernanda Torres in I'm Still Here, which I have not seen. When it comes to documentary feature film, the only other issue here is that No Other Land, which is a wildly anti-Israel piece of propaganda, Agitprop, was nominated. Am I Racist, the #1 documentary of the last decade, did not receive a nomination from the Oscars, but again, I don't think that is a complete shock. So there you are, a bunch of trash movies nominated for the highest awards in Hollywood, because that's how all of this works. All right, coming up, we'll be getting into the media and their failed response to President Trump's winning again. If you're not a member, become a member. Use code Shapiro at checkout for 2 months free on all annual plans. Click that link in the description and join us.
Okay, so that's level 59. Okay. Yeah.
Is it now?
Yep. We're down at negative 59. You want to see a really fun ride, Jen?
I guess.
Okay, just wait until I get to the top of this ladder. It's a really fun, trippy ride.
I'm gonna have to go to your stream here if I'm gonna watch. This insanity ensue.
Yep. So this is gonna be the entrance to the mine shaft here. It's a long way down. To get down there is actually going to be very easy. What?
Yeah, imagine if you accidentally fell right now.
I know. That's what I've actually planned for. Look at how far down that is.
I'm just waiting for you to fall.
Okay, watch this. Oops. No. Let me go back.
Yeah, he fell.
Here, watch this. This is the fun ride that I'm telling you about. Watch. Ready? Whee! All you have to do is fall into a single bucket of water. Oh, the realism. It's so realistic, right, Jen?
Yeah, almost like Assassin's Creed, you know, falling into a hay bale.
This is just like real life.
Yeah, because that would 100% work. Because when falling from a great height, water definitely doesn't become cement.
Pretty much. That's exactly what it does, yeah. That's exactly what water's like.
Yeah, exactly. Wonderful.
There's a lot of these cave systems on the way down. Crazy. Luckily, I don't think any of the skeletons or anything can climb.
Yeah, probably not.
No, it's just like a straight shot down.
A straight shot, huh?
Yep.
Are we straight?
Yep.
How straight?
Very.
Let's see.
I'm gonna go use the restroom, so I will be right back.
That's not allowed.
Yes,
Can't
it
do
is.
Celia! Okay, let me give you the full story. I love the scent of wine, and after reading up on the art of winemaking, I have grasped some of the key principles. In short, whatever ingredients you use, it's essential to include something sweet. In an attempt to select the most suitable ingredient, I gathered samples of all the sweet plants and fruits I could find in the Mondstadt area. Then, I tried them all in turn and took detailed notes. I also factored in the differences between the same ingredient grown in different locations. For instance, sweet flowers from Springvale are a little sweeter than those at Cape Oath.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of work.
Oh, I'm sure she was more than happy to do it. All the work, all of the wine tasting. I'm sure she was more than happy.
It was no problem at all.
No problem
Just
at
my
all.
duty as a maid of Favonius.
It was her duty. It was her duty to get drunk for 4 days in a row. It was her freaking duty, Paimon.
The chance to source the Defender's
Yes.
will on behalf of the Knights of Favonius is a huge
It
honor
was a
for
duty
me.
and it was an honor. She did her duty admirably in the face of serious adversity. She trumped through somehow. The hangovers and the drunkenness, it was all part of her duty.
Noelle, your eyes are sparkling. But Paimon thinks it could be because of Lisa's brainwashing.
Shh, we don't talk about that, Paimon.
Anyway, I was worried that my evaluation would be too subjective if only I were involved.
Yes,
Thankfully,
that's true.
I ran into Sucrose the other day on her way out of the lab.
Oh, so you had your drinking buddy. That's why you're both here.
Oh
Yes, you've been found out, Sucrose.
no! What is it, Sucrose?
I just remembered why I left the lab that day. I was supposed to go and fetch some lab equipment we imported recently.
It's okay. What you were doing, it was part of an honorable mission given to Noelle. Couldn't be helped. You had more important things to do with Noelle.
Oh.
Uh-oh. That look on your face seems to say you forgot all about it and have been in the lab this whole time.
I've been in the lab drinking away this entire time, man. I don't know how they would have forgot it, man.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh.
Don't worry about it. It's my fault, really. I'll go and see Marjorie about the equipment shortly. Carry on, Noelle.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Sucrose is a true professional when it comes to this kind of research. I showed her my list, and she made some extremely valuable suggestions.
Your faces are still flushed red from all the drinking.
Please, you don't need to go out of your way to compliment me. Noelle filled me in on the background of the whole situation.
Oh, okay.
I was moved to see how seriously she took this task, even though she'd never even met Razor before. However, none of the potential ingredients she had identified were perfect candidates, in my opinion. What we needed was a fruit high in sugar and easily fermentable. After a final look at Noelle's list, I picked the Sensetia sample from near Cider Lake as a basis, with a view to improving it. Using bioalchemical techniques, we were able to amplify the sweetness, then conduct a few tests to compare the results against the benchmarks.
Watching Sucrose work on an experiment when she's in the zone blew me away. Such focus and determination.
Well, drunk too, man. She's got quite the focus and determination.
I already said don't compliment me. Anyway, the result of our research is the Epsilon Series Tetrasweet Sensetia, Variation 63. And it's finally ready. The sweetness has been verified through rigorous testing. And the size and color are both optimal, too.
Much wine testing. So much testing. Now we need to go find something else to test together.
Noelle shortened the name to Quadruple Sweetness Sensetia. Unfortunately, it can't be produced on a very large scale under the current conditions. But as long as we have enough for Razor.
Oh, we want to taste just a little bit.
Hey, what's wrong with you?
Let's Phlogiston Trail.
Huh? What trail? Paimon doesn't see anything.
Oh, right. I forgot your eyes don't naturally perceive such things.
No.
Here, give me your hand.
Oh, she's holding our hand. Ooh. Yes, please. No, she needs to hold our hand. That's not good enough.
How about now?
No, I just still don't see anything. Even if you see something, just say you don't see. No, we don't see anything. We need to hold our hand. Maybe make out with us. Maybe then we'll see it.
Paimon sees a small shape here. Could it be some sort of symbol?
I don't see anything. I think it's wearing off.
Signal for the masters of the Night
you need
Wind.
to. I think you need to hold
Only
my hand
someone
this
from
time.
our
It
tribe
wears
would
off too
recognize
fast
it.
otherwise.
So Auroron was indeed being threatened. We've got to find him.
I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was holding you up.
Well, I recruited you to be my helper, which means we're in this together. Like the wind and the clouds. We either move as one or not at all.
I think it's more like a bowling ball and chain. It's more like a chain and ball around my ankle.
But if you want to make it up to me, then just
Oh.
be sure to fight extra hard when the time comes.
I think I can think of other ways that the Traveler can make it up to you.
In the moment that we escaped from that space, I could sense what was left of Bosacius's memory. If I had to say what I gained from this trip, I think that would be it. It's good that one more person will remember him.
Menogias, where have you been?
Brother Yaksha, you're confused again. I've told you countless times, I am Boyoung, the thaumaturge who fought with you in the chasm.
Boyoung? Boyoung? You are Boyoung, but who am I?
Believe me, I want to know as much as you do. Here we are, the two who agreed to stay here together, and I can't even call you by your name. It's a shame.
Stay here? No. No, you have to leave.
Nonsense, Brother Yaksha. We're down here for good now. Don't you remember? It's too late to have regrets. The seal can't be broken.
The seal. Ah, yes. I'm a Yaksha who came here to fight.
Brother, are you okay?
Look at the state of me. I don't think I've got long now.
We're the only two left. Don't go dying on me. You know, today I saw my family down here. Clear as day. What do you think? Am I losing my mind now too?
Probably.
Boyoung, do you want to go home?
I made my decision to leave Zhongzhou up on the surface. I obviously... Of course I want to go home.
I must have family too.
No, that's impossible.
You mean brothers and sisters? I'm sure you do.
Brothers and sisters. Yes, but who am I? And where is my family?
Brother! What's wrong? Hang in there. It's just you and me, don't die before me.
Alatus, is that you?
Who's Alatus? Your memory's going again.
I'm sorry. You all have to see me in this state.
Brother!
Look, there's someone over there.
Who are they?
They're my... I remember now. I know you. My brothers and sisters have come for me, Boyoung.
You're awake? At least tell me your name.
Brother Bosacius.
Hey, Bosacius. Bosacius.
I am Bosacius, and my destiny is to make the ultimate sacrifice.
You said so much today, but I don't need to hold back as much when I talk to you. Have you ever had a moment where you felt like you were aware of your destiny? The potential of life? The approach of death? Whatever it might have been. By now, I have accepted that destiny is the one disaster that the Yaksha know most keenly of all. We are destined to misery. And yet, we have no fear.
How?
What the? My screen was like directly facing him. I pressed Q, the screen whips 180 degrees. I faced my screen directly at him again, and it whipped around. Simple, but quite brilliant in construction. They rivaled even crystals for ethereal capacity. A pity we never got to use them. How muddled and distant the memory. When Doom's deadline loomed large, and we extracted ourselves from waist-high mire of work, only to end up chin-deep in another. I was one with the world, a conduit for the energies of creation, but now I am truly alive. Who could have thought that sleeping in a bed and eating warm meals could make such a difference? I feel positively functional. I dare say it rivals the thrilling dancing on the knife's edge of failure.
It's likely that the feelings you're experiencing right now won't occur many times in your life. I urge you to summon the courage to seize this opportunity and see where it takes you, no matter where that may be.
Oh, that's expecting too much from her. Women don't do that kind of thing. They let opportunities slip by them, you know.
What? Really?
Yep.
But that's how it is in battle, too. Opportunities to seize victory are fleeting. When they arise, you have to capitalize on them right away. I imagine it's the same in love. That's my suggestion, anyway.
I mean, it's true, but I mean...
Let's read the next letter.
Yeah.
My neighbor is always...
Jeez, Pack. Like, calm down. With that
Did
freaking chainsaw.
Did you almost call me Paku?
No, I would never call you such a thing.
Okay.
There's nobody that could prove that I ever said that word. Nobody.
There is somebody.
No.
Actually, there's
You
two
can't-
somebodies now that I think about it.
You can't prove nothing.
Hey,
You have no proof.
Smashly.
What? Excuse me! Do not call her that! I am going to tell her you said that. And she's going to kill you.
She knows my shenanigans.
Yeah. We all know your shenanigans. Unfortunately.
You all have the pleasure of knowing my shenanigans.
Pleasure? Pff, right. That's definitely what it is.
Exactly. You know it. Gotta love them iframes. Oh, he's gone. He's down for the count.
Nice and spicy. Now you shall perish.
Could be, yeah. He's gone. Night night. Outfits, nothing suspicious about that, Candace.
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, she's looking forward. Ooh.
Just being able to relax and wander the streets freely has already made my day.
I see.
So, Traveler, Paimon, you two want to
Traveling
come
the
with?
streets with you has already made her day.
We'd
Ooh.
love to, but we've got work to do right now.
Aw, that's a shame. Let's hang out together when you're free then.
Sure.
Ooh, she wants
In that
even
case,
more action.
Candace and I'll head out
wow.
first. Good clothing and fabrics are very much in demand.
She's inviting
You
us
snooze,
into
you
the
lose.
action. Wow.
Oh, right.
Ooh.
We should also get some accessories.
No
Ex-
rush.
Ooh, what?
I think we'll have a better
What are
time
you
if we
talking-
take things slow. See you two later. Feel free
Okay.
to come find us whenever you have the time.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find time. I'm sure we can find time for
Didn't
this.
think that Candace and Dia would come. Hanging out with them sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
Go on
Keep
now.
Stream says, are you one of
Nechka
my
is still
favorite
resting.
streamers? How's your day been, my brother?
It's good. How's your day?
Hey, Twasoli,
We are? I thought we were somewhere else.
Oh, what a surprise. And even Shilonin is here too.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen you, Auntie. I received Nechka's letter. She wanted a copy of To Kill the Brave, right? Well, I've brought the book for her. There are several editions of the book in Natlan, and I wasn't sure which version she'd
Paimon's
prefer.
just getting chased around in the background. Oh my goodness.
I asked a messenger from the
Paimon
Science of
is
the
asking
Canopy.
for trouble now.
It seems this softcover edition is one of the most popular options, so I brought it for Nechka.
You haven't changed a bit, Shilonin. Let's go inside. I was just boiling some chocoatl, so you can all try some. Shilonin used to love drinking chocoatl. When she was little, she would always have several cups every time
Paimon's
she
in
came
the
to visit
back.
me.
Oh my goodness. Paimon is
You were
being
already
such a
a big
troll.
girl by the
Mystery novel Paimon bought from Yai Publishing House had a plot just like that. During the investigation, whoever said I'm not going would always be the next victim.
It could be Paimon.
I second that. Paimon's going with you. Don't you ever leave Paimon behind. Ever!
It looked like they were running that way, but it's hard to say exactly.
We have found Emma.
Allow me to speak frankly.
This is her true
You will
form.
not find the Lords of Cinder here. They have left, gone, to their churning homes, converging at the base of
Never
this
expected
castle.
to see Emma here.
Head to the bottom of the high wall. Forge on through the great gate and raise this banner to proceed.
Oh, she gives me the banner. Okay.
Yes.
Good. Then we are officially introduced. See? Simple as that. I like respectful ones, by the way. Would you like to join my research group?
Oh.
Madame Faruzan, I'm quite sure this counts as poaching. Let's dial things down.
Maybe Lila
I
likes
know,
it.
but it's been tough getting people these days.
Here he was thinking he was in charge. It's okay, we'll let it slide this time.
You were great, Nilu! Your words won over Inaya! Talk like that during the debate, and you'll get an easy win!
Thanks for that, Paimon. But I still feel like it'll be an uphill battle. I need to be calmer, cooler, and more collected.
Yep. Even if her daddy wants to leave, she'll make him stay. Another normal day. Time to abduct some people, hold them for ransom, and burn some buildings down, am I right? Let's go! Yeah, exactly. Indeed, yes. This is what we do to spice things up a little. Not Razor's
Traveler
side.
and teacher did a lot for me. A lot of work.
Yes, we did, Razor. You are in our debt. How will you ever repay us?
But me, I still can't answer questions. So useless.
Well, at least you know that you're useless.
Dear me, what's gotten you so upset, my little wolf cub? We can't have you being so down in the dumps.
Wait, we can't?
Ah, I see.
Do you?
Cutie, how about you keep Kaya company while I stay here and help Razor process his feelings? As his teacher, I owe him some tutelage anyway.
Oh, she's gonna help you, Razor. Aw, sweet Dommy Mommy's gonna help you with your feelings.
Come and collect him in a few days' time. The last ingredient should be ready by then as well.
A few days. Man, Razor's really getting some hands-on lessons. Jeez.
Injured, I'd have to escort 2 strangers guilty of stealing my targets all the way back to Mondstadt, which would mean you'd cause me even more trouble. My vengeance would be swifter still.
She is vengeance. She is Batman.
Yes, that's me.
She just admitted to it. She's Batman. That's me.
People of Liyue Harbor. Apart from my contract with Rex Lapis, they rely on me, accept me, and long for me to bear witness to their stories.
Oh, of course. You're irreplaceable to us.
That's right. That's why I can't disappoint you.
Yeah, you're their little horny girl.
Hooray! Ganya's finally cheered.
I'll just go along with it for now. As soon as we go into a back alleyway, Scaramouche will accidentally trip and fall on his own blade, tragically ending his life. Such a tragedy. Won't be able to believe what happened, and we'll have to, unfortunately, inform Kusanali.
Borrowed? But since you're here for the box, I took all my treasures out. That's why it's empty.
You used it to store your things? Then where are the original contents of the box? That's what I want.
Oh, you want the thing that used to be in the box? You should have said so.
That sounds
you haven't
like
broken
right
it.
there.
From reading through this, it sounds like Boyang ended up staying here for good too.
This is just wonderful. So, that's it. There's no way out?
What do we do? Are we gonna die here? But Paimon doesn't wanna die! Paimon's had enough of this place! Let me out!
What was that? Huh?
I got it! I just had a thought.
Anfei
Give me a
has
second, I
brilliant
just need to double
idea.
check. Traveler, I just realized something. Okay, so on my way here, I was studying the will the whole time, but I didn't give any thought to the book that the will was inside of. I don't know it verbatim,
give it
but I
any
have
thought,
read it
huh?
before. The gist of the story goes like this. Millennia ago, an Adeptus made a magic device to seal away evil monsters. Later, he made good friends with a human and gave the device to him to use as a catalyst. A few years later, great demons haunted the mountains. The mortal and the Adeptus joined forces to exorcise them using the same device. And that's not all. The book also says this. When mortal and Adepti powers are combined, one can move the heavens and shake the earth. This contraption is proof that mortals and Adepti may coexist, that there is unity
That's
between heaven and
impossible.
humanity.
I do
I
not
have both
accept
Adepti
this.
and human lineage. Maybe my power can work.
Unacceptable. Am I right? Human and Adepti working together.
It worked! I mean, the effect only lasted an instant because I'm not strong enough, but still, we must be on the right track.
I gotta say, it does intrigue me, the way we all ended up here together. If this is fate, then let's grab it in our hands and turn it around.
Leave the boss to Ushi and me. We're ready.
Traveler, take care of Paimon. Yanfei, you might need to come closer to me when the time comes.
Sure.
Stars align, bestow your light, evil purged by thunder's might. Spirit curbed, pneuma surge, By dictum divine, heed these words. Do as I command!
Aha! The fantastic compass is an amplifier. Maintain this energy level, and we may stand a chance.
I will maintain the energy flow.
Understood.
Everyone, stand back.
I shall hold the line by sealing the surface.
As Yakshas, we must fight for this world. General Alatus, falling in!
They're probably just there for a chat.
Watch out!
This trip may be dangerous, yet you insist on going.
I have guarded this place for several hundred years. Only to seek the nameless Yaksha do I request your approval.
You can't keep this up. Your strength won't last.
Zhongli.
That was close. I thought you were gonna get left behind. I'm so glad you're okay. That was terrifying.
I know what you were thinking, but... Never mind. I know I can't talk you out of a mindset that's been built up over a lifetime. I don't think we were ever going to reach an agreement over the final strategy. But in the end, it was thanks to you that we managed to escape. So, thank you for saving us all.
No. I could not have done this on my strength alone.
Don't mention it.
Which combines these crossbones with circular AoEs under every player. Just
No, I couldn't see that.
out of the AoEs and watch for the floating X's.
Basically, this guide is like explaining to you, you have eyeballs. This is how you use your eyeballs and your brain together.
This might be a shock to you, but you've had these eyeballs for your entire life, and you've had a few brain cells your entire life. Now here is how you use these eyeballs and brain cells together. It's like, oh my goodness. Why are you even saying any of this? My goodness. Who needs this guide? Honestly, like, this is, oh my goodness.
Anya will cast Order
Oh,
to
I'm gonna
Bombard,
cry.
which covers
Oh,
a
this
large
is
portion
painful.
Of the floor with AoE markers, while line AoEs follow the players.
Oh,
and
this
Julia
is
does
pain.
Hold it right there. Heading to the desert, are we? I would think twice if I were you.
Nah, I'd think once.
Who are you?
That doesn't matter. All you need to know is that someone wishes to inform you that it's not too late to turn back.
Oh, it's not too late for you if we
You
turn
must
back.
be Sinu. I've
We
heard a
don't
lot
really
about
care
you.
about saving
You've got
your
quite
life,
a
though.
reputation. But this time you're in over your head. Unless you turn around right now, I'm afraid that even you won't return unscathed.
You want forgiveness?